Hello and welcome. The night is deep, and it is now time for Spook or Scream 166. I am Pat, here with Topic. How are you today?
You know what? We got Halloween, one of the best holidays of the year. It's a little spooky, a little creepy. You know what? I'm all here for it. I'm good. I'm feeling nice.
I am feeling pretty nice as well. It's awesome to be here for SOS to watch all these good teams play for the crown. We'll see how we're able to do.
Yeah, you know what? SOS weeklies, everyone loves it, but we're going to have our match actually ready, our teams ready at least. We have Shark Bytes versus Flashpoint.
Yeah. So, Topic, you're at home, but I'm not familiar with these teams. So, do you know them? What can you tell me about them?
I have no idea. So we're going in both blind. So we're going to have to figure this out at the same time.
Okay. Well, can't wait to see what they can do. Remember, we are in the group stage. This is round number 1. It is a best of 3. We'll start with Splat Zones on Hagglefish Market. And what better way to start a set than Splat Zones on Hagglefish Market? That's the warm-up map. That's the map where you already have the plan, where you already know what to do, and all you need to do is simply go forward and try to get the splats.
Yeah. Now, whenever I think of Hagglefish Zones, I really think of it's the final destination. It's the battlefield. It's like the neutral map mode of all time. And as we get into the game, we are gonna see a range blaster on both sides. Actually, the vanilla range blaster. Okay, one of my favorite weapons in the game. I'm not really opposed to that. But other than that, both of these comps looking pretty standard.
Yeah, and on this map of Hagglefish, having the pencil advantage will be pretty good for Sharp Bite. Flashpoint will need to be the one to cut the distance, and that crab tank is going to help them a lot with that. They're already activating it and trying to go in.
Yeah, the crab tank is gonna do something. However, Flashpoint quickly responds. Nice direct there. That's gonna be 2 down for Shark Bites. Starlight here staying alive, getting a delayed triple, basically giving Flashpoints the lead and taking a lot of space in front of zone. So this is really, really good for Flashpoint. Now, the main problem here is you need to deal with pencil, because if you don't deal with pencil, they're just gonna play laser tag the entire time.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty rough, and Shark Bites is already going forward, and as you said, the pencil advantage. If the pencil stays safe, they can paint, they can cover their team, and right now Shark Bites are off with their penalty, are doing the good points, but they're responding to the map and preparing to push. They have a pretty good hold.
Yeah, they have a good hold, but if you're Flashpoint, you just popped Wavebreaker, you have a cooler and a strikes at the ready, so you have a really good chance to counterattack here. However, Shark Bites is just gonna hold on for dear life.
Yeah, Shark Bites simply holding their ground, waiting for Flashpoint to make a mistake, and so far Flashpoint hasn't managed to get much. It's a trade right here by the Stamper. The crab tank is not enough to capture the zone, and Shark Bites is still in control.
I mean, yeah, that's what happens. We've been talking about this entire game. The pencil is going to be the big difference for Shark Bites, because they can just sit back and paint. Though, as I say that, Flashpoint's going to get 2 people up and just painting over his zone as much as they can. Though this is a lot of fighting in the zone. Flash Bites will eventually get the zone, but almost immediately Shark Bites is able to flip. So we can just see how well Shark Bites comp just really paints for itself.
Yeah, Flashpoint used all of their resources to paint that zones, but now they're able to come back with 2 down onto Shark Bite. They should be able to get in unless your favorite weapon is able to punish things. It's over, and Flashpoint are finally onto the zone, getting forward with 3 down. They should be able to get a lot of control now.
Yeah, they are building up the crab right now, so that can be really crucial on defense. And if you're shark bite, sorry, but you're gonna need to use everything you can just to get in. And so far, that's exactly what they're gonna try to do. But not a whole lot is gonna change here in the dynamic, as that's a nice 2 down for Starlight there. Flashpoint trying to extend their lead a little bit further. A cooler is gonna be popped on the side of shark bite to try to get themselves in, but Flashpoint is just gonna try to block them out. And so far, it's working pretty well.
But now with the strikes, it looks like Sharkbite will have no issue painting the zone, applying penalty, and 3 players down on the side of Flashpoint. Sharkbites have not only the lead, they have a lot of control right now, and the Deepcaster is going in just to create more chaos, getting one and forcing everybody else to move to the back. Sharkbites has all the map now. They're so deep in.
Yeah, they're so deep in, but this is kind of what the problem is of going a bit too deep. You're gonna go down, as Sharkbites is gonna go 2 down, though thankfully for them, the crab for Flashpoint was so far back they didn't really have the chance to affect the zone. Flashpoint's throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the zone. It's gonna work. They're gonna get 3 down basically for on Sharkbites, and Flashpoint by the skin of their teeth just holds on to the game.
It's not over, but they only have a minute left to take the lead back, and they already lost 2 players. Sharkbite is going to apply penalty probably soon, unless Trouble can stop all of that with that heavy edit. And that crab tank to assist with it. Sharkbite is still fighting for the zone. They know all they need to do is paint over the zone now. Flashpoint needs a big push.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to start that. The strikes are going to come out from Eurus here. That's a nice one, too. Going down, and Flashpoint is going to be able to at least neutralize the zone, and not quite able to cap it. Unfortunate kill there on Jay. And another one down for Sharkbites, and Flashpoint's looking to really get zoned, but I think they're being kind of stuck here with the pencil, just sitting back and just pressing the win button, basically, and just keeping zone painted. As just like that, Sharkbites will kind of fend off Flashpoints to hold on to the zone, and with less than 10 seconds remaining, Sharkbites is looking to just hold on here.
Yep, all they need to do is paint a little bit, and they're going to get a KO. Sharkbites getting the first game. Flashpoint, well, not that far behind, but in the end, a bit more time on the zone here, a bit more time on the zone there, allowed Sharkbite to just pull through with more points.
Yeah, and I think we discussed it throughout the game. It was the pencil difference. The pencil for Sharkbites really made the difference, just that, like you said earlier, it just paints so much. It just covers so much space that if you don't deal with it, if you don't force it away with a strike, with a Zuka, with a whale, then it could just kind of sit there and negate all that you tried to do.
Yeah, it's a little thing here, but honestly, going into the next game, which is going to be tower control, the dynamic is going to be different, and honestly, Flashpoint were very much right behind Sharkbite's tail, able to answer everything, able to come back so often. If they play their cards right for tower control, they have a very good option at coming back.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I do think, for at least on the outside looking in, I do think this map mode does favor slightly into Flashpoints, because this map, you can go so far up. You can basically get into the enemy spawn pretty much uncontested, and the only real barrier is that little chokehold right after the second checkpoint. And with how fast Flashpoint's comp can move, with how well they can move together as a team, I think they should be able to very quickly take the first checkpoint and even go further on to the second and just take court.
Yeah, that second checkpoint is usually the one that decides things. The first checkpoint, it takes a lot of time, but usually you're through. It's a formality to push. But that second checkpoint is the one that makes or breaks the game right there. We'll see how these teams are able to do, and yeah, what they bring. Do you think they'll change what they do? Maybe we see a custom range blaster instead of a vanilla one there.
I could see that, though I can also see sticking with the V range blaster because it does have suction bomb. It still does have wave breaker, which is very, very effective in the court section here.
Oh yeah.
But also you have the Kraken, which is the Kraken, which kind of like the GG weapon, and it looks like no changes from either comp.
Yeah.
They feel comfortable with what they got.
Crypt is going to bring a splatter shot to have a few Zukas. I don't think we had the splatter shot. I think it was the vanilla splash before. Other than that, like pretty much not much change, and it looks like Flashpoint is going to get the first plat onto the Stamper. That's a lot of a very good way to start the first fight.
Yeah, you can say that again, as so far Flashpoint is going to are just a lot of neutral fighting, both teams trying to get something going, get something started, and so far Flashpoint is going to be able to do that, though they're going to be quickly shut down going 2 down, and I think we've seen a little bit of adapting from both of these teams as this game has remained really neutral.
Yep. I mean, neither team had gone onto the tower. Sharkbite is going to get it right now, and with the splat onto the splatter shot and onto the blaster, they're now in a very good position to get the first checkpoint. It's just the Slosher left standing. That Slosher needs to regroup with the team in order to defend. The first checkpoint is down. Now it's courts time.
Yup, and here it is, the long trek between first and second, and if you're Flashpoint, you really want to defend that second checkpoint because you have a really, really good height advantage, but they don't even need to get second checkpoints. They're able to defend it super, super quickly. Crypt going for a bit of an aggressive play, forcing one member of Sharkbites to jump out. However, they are going to get punished for that, and now Flashpoint with Sharkbites off of their back, they might have an opportunity here to get some points on the board.
Yeah, right now, Sharkbite dealt the first blow. They know that they can attack much, much faster now that that checkpoint is down, but Flashpoint still has the opportunity to go forward, and it's their turn to ride the tower. As I say that, they lose 2 players. It's going to be rough to go on, but Crypt is able to get one with the Zuka. We're back to neutral, onto mid, as Flashpoint is simply trying to get their bearings back.
I mean, so that's what they're trying to do, but Sharkbite is keeping them on their toes. That's basically a delayed wipeout onside of Flashpoint, and Sharkbite's looking super, super dominant, trying not to have a game go as close as it did in that first game, trying to end it right here with the Zip Caster, with the Cooler, with the Wave Breaker, with everything in the kitchen sink being thrown. That Flashpoint right now, Jay is gonna get one, and Sharkbite is gonna end up getting to that first checkpoint, and with this looking pretty uncontested, they're gonna break right through.
Sharkbite is not stopping. They have all the momentum, and Sharkies is going to get the KO in the nick of time. Of everybody was just jumping to that tower, but too late.
I mean, that was a pretty dominant win by Sharkbites. Like, I think Flashpoint got to, was it 80 or 70? I think it was pretty early, though. They didn't break through that first checkpoint. It was pretty dominant. They set the pace super early. They set how this game was going to dictate super early, and then it was up to Flashpoint to respond. And by the time they had the one time they tried to respond, they got shut down really quickly.
Yeah, incredible first game by Sharkbites. These 2 teams, I feel like they were very close onto the Hagglefish, but going into tower control, Sharkbites simply took control, got the splats, got the momentum, got the checkpoints, and in the end got the game. And Flashpoint, a bit more work to get there.
Yeah, and with that, that'll be the end of round number 1 of SOS, though stay right there because in a little bit we'll have round 2 coming up right next for you. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Sink or Swim Spooky Edition. We are here with round number 2. I am Topic. The one making the spooky noises is Pat, and we have our next rounds ready for you guys. We got Smurf Cat versus Wyrmwind.
That's right. We are about to watch round number 2. Smurf Cat and Wyrmwind, both of these teams won their first round. Smurf Cat 2-1 and Wyrmwind 2-0. So now the team that wins this one gets to be the top dog of this group.
I mean, yeah, but we'll see which one will get the early advantage as we go to our first map mode. Splat zones on Robo Ramen.
Robo Ramen. It's this map that became a classic the second it was released. And the reason for that, I feel, is whatever your weapon, whatever your playstyle, you will have something to do and you will be happy to play on this map. And we see a very interesting playstyle coming from both teams. There's going to be fights, Topic.
Okay, we do see a bamboo, a very underrated weapon in my opinion, because it is very rarely seen, but it's still a very, very strong main weapon. And on the side of Wyrmwind, we do see a carbon roller, which can be very, very deadly on this map, because unlike other maps, you do have walls and flanks to work with, so Smurf Cat does have to really watch their 9 to make sure they don't get a carbon coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, Bazooka is raining, and right now it is just the carbon versus a hammer to end this fight. But the zone is blue for the Smurf Cats. Wyrmwind will have to paint a little bit in order to get the zone back, and now both teams are back to the fight for the 4 again.
Yeah, it's back to a full man fight as the Wyrmwind's gonna take a quick advantage, getting 2 down on the side of Smurf Cat, trying to push their advantage, because with their comp, they can really do that. They can really force their fights. They do have the carbon, which went down right there. They do have the zip caster. They do have the octo shot. They can really try to force these fights into Smurf Cat's territory. But Smurf Cat, on the other hand, is responding super, super well. But at this point, it's just back and forth.
Yeah, it is very much back and forth right there. And Wyrmwind still getting more splats. That carbon has been doing so much work. Right now it was 2 down onto Smurf Cat. And I mean, the onslaught is not stopping. Wyrmwind is on the hunt, constantly chasing the next fight.
I mean, that's kind of what they really want to do. They want to get in your face. They want to disorient you. And so far, it is going to work out in their favor as Smurf Cat is all kind of backed up into their ramp, though. Nice shot there by Neptune to get rid of the zip caster. That's another one down on the side of Wyrmwind. 2 down. Try to maybe a chance to push forward. That's going to be 3 down on the side of Wyrmwind, though. Toto meets the fate of the zip cat or of the Splatana and going to go down. But that's a really good opening that Smurf Cat needed to try to get their some points on the board.
Yeah, Smurf Cat finally able to take some control over the zone, and it looks like they are close to the lead. But as I say that, Wyrmwind is answering, painting the zone all over again, and both teams are back to the drawing board and back to the fight around it. But with 2 down onto Wyrmwind, it looks like Smurf Cat will have the zone a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we keep seeing these neutral fights or neutral trades is that both of these teams have very, very aggressive comps. They want to be in your face, and so far Smurf Cat is going to be the winner for now, as they are going to take lead and keep the scoring going. Turple here getting a nice help there from the edit player to get that kill there, as so far Wyrmwind is going to take zone again, though Smurf Cat is not far behind. They're not one to be dissuaded easily, as they're again trying to fight for zone.
Yeah, a free splat right there for Wyrmwind is going to be pretty good. As Smurf Cat is still trying to regroup, get back in there, and with the 3v3, we're still waiting for the special that's going to allow Smurf Cat to simply get in. As I say that, Neptune just getting the splat. The zone is almost neutralized, but Wyrmwind take the lead nonetheless.
it's time as that whole zone was neutral, and now they're gonna let the floodgates open as they're gonna get down to 10 ticks. Smurf Cat has to try to get in. Unfortunate splat bomb there on the carbon as Smurf Cat has found their way in. Now the question becomes, can they stay in? And that's a good start with 3 down on Wyrmwind.
Yeah, it's just the heavy edit. That heavy edit needs to stay strong, get the tacticular, and get the rest of the team going. Smurf Cat, they don't have penalty anymore. If they're able to deny the next push, they have an option at the KO right now. Both teams know that this fight is so important, and the heavy edit is getting near the zone, wants to paint it, but Smurf Cat is defending as much as they can. The strikes are enough to flip it. Wyrmwind keeps the lead.
We love our GG strikes as Wyrmwind will take the lead with 2 ticks remaining. The hammer is gonna get shut down by the carbon roller, and Smurf Cat, they are gonna take zone, but they aren't gonna get all of Wyrmwind out as they can just sit back here and fight for more zone with less than 20 seconds left. This game is back and forth as any game could be.
I mean, we're 2 points, so yeah, there's 2 points between these two teams. Smurf Cat as capturing back the zone, activating the stomp, getting 1, getting 2.
There it is.
Oh, that's how you start overtime.
Yep, that's a really good opening of overtime, and now Wyrmwind, they are so far back. Look at how much map is in Smurf Cat's favor. They can watch all the entrances. Manix though is gonna get in with the Zipcaster. Hold on, they had 9 per second. Smurf Cat 1 point away. The carbon goes down, 2 down on the side of Wyrmwind. Just outright chaos in the mid, and Smurf Cat, they will hold on. I think they had the lead. They take the lead, or did they
I think it's too late. No, it was too late. I think they was too late. Just after the clock ran out. Wyrmwind takes this game by nothing. By nothing.
That was a game.
That was very much a game.
It was possibly one of the most even games I've seen in a minute. It was like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I think we've seen like 4 or 5 lead changes, countless amount of zone flips. It was just Wyrmwind just held on till the very, very last second, because I think they got to 9, and then right as they got to 9, Smurf Cat neutralized it. They neutralized it, and then Wyrmwind just kept painting zone until they stalled out the rest of the time.
Yeah, and like you could see on the screen right after the clock declared the end of the game, the zone turned blue. So 1 extra second of overtime would have given the win to the Smurfs. That was such a close game. That has to feel pretty good if you're Wyrmwind to get away with that. And the Smurf Cat, they know that they only need to do a tiny bit more in order to get the win back in tower control on Undertow Spillway.
Well, Pat, I think we can both agree this is a 2 checkpoint map, right? Because the first checkpoint's like gentlemen.
What checkpoint? There's no first checkpoint.
There is no first checkpoint in Bossing Say. It doesn't exist, because everyone knows it's just like it's a hop, skip, and jump away. It's not that far away. As for both teams, I believe there's the same comps on both sides, so they feel comfortable with what they got.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a nice map for Wyrmwind. They have 2 ledge options between that carbon and that Splatana Stamper. They have very good ways in. And we'll see if Smurf Cat is able to answer the attacks, and that's already a splat onto the Wiper for Wyrmwind.
Yeah, that quick kill, or that quick early kill, might be something for them as the strikers didn't come out, trying to clear out some space. Though Smurf Cat not looking to give this first checkpoint that easily. The Wyrmwind is able to at least get it started. They weren't able to get any ticks down. Nice Zuka there. That's going to be 3 down. That's the wipeout on the side of Wyrmwind, and now Smurf Cat uncontestedly is going to break through that first checkpoint and get started on the second one.
Yep, right now, very, very nice first checkpoint by Smurf Cat, who are not trying to get to the second one. They just simply wait for the strikes to be over. They have a tactical, they know they can get that push going. As I say that, they lose 2 players. What? Okay, never mind, doesn't matter. The other team lost 4 players, and Smurf Cat is going to get the second checkpoint now, pushing on to the third and final one.
Yeah, this is looking like a pretty dominant game from Smurf Cat at the moment, as they're already on that third checkpoint. About 1.5 minutes in the game, the strikes to kind of stall it out is going to work for just a second, as it forces Mini off the tower. They're going to break to the third checkpoint. Turpo is the last one of remaining. No one's on tower. There it is. Someone gets on tower for Smurf Cat, and that was basically 100-0.
I mean, we saw the closest game 1 ever. And then, like, Smurf Cat, they were pissed off about that ending. They were very much pissed off. And activated the, like, they just switched to Super Saiyan and went in, won everything. Wyrmwind got a few picks, but they paid these picks with more bodies, and Smurf Cat simply going forward and winning.
Yeah, I think Smurf Cat did a really good job of keeping Wyrmwind staggered. They made sure that even if, like we mentioned when they got to that second checkpoint, even though Smurf Cat went 2 down, they weakened the members of Wyrmwind just enough that a couple shots here and there was able to get that wipeout and kind of let the dam burst, as they just kept on scoring and weren't going to be denied.
Yeah, incredible game by Smurf Cat. But Wyrmwind are still in there. They won the first game. Now they only need to win this one. And yeah, we'll see. Do they adapt? No change in terms of comp, I'm pretty sure. We're just gonna see more fight.
Yeah, but I expect a lot more fighting, especially on Museum de Alfonsino, with that large flank round we do see Maximix take at the very start to try to affect the opponent, plat, which should be very, very effective for them. Though Smurf Cat, with the early advantage getting 1 down, though, as this map usually tends to work out, the first about 30 seconds to a minute, it shows a lot of neutral fighting and trying to find your way in.
Yeah, and right now, both teams are simply still fighting for mid. The hammer is going to be absolutely destroyed, but it doesn't matter. The Smurf Cat are still picking up the Rainmaker, not being able to get it out of mid, as both teams are still fighting for mid to pick.
I mean, this is just classic Splatoon 3 gameplay. Just don't stop. Just keep fighting. Keep going forward. And so far, Smurf Cat is executing that much, much better than Wyrmwind, as they're able to make the jump. However, the strikes and the defense from Wyrmwind is going to be just enough to at least scare the Rainmaker away and get it back into mid. Not undoing all the progress they made, but making it take a lot longer for Smurf Cat to get something going, though. They're looking to just keep this, or trying to keep this aggression up.
Yeah, very nice play by the Rainmaker to recognize that they were behind, that they were not able to push forward and to wait for the team by moving back. They lost a lot of time though, and now they're dodging all the specials in the world. They're still alive, Topic! How are they still alive?
Witchcraft, wizardry, and dashing everywhere. As with the last 10 seconds, it's gonna be it. They're going to barely break through that first checkpoint. And now Wyrmwind, they're going to play some really, really, really strong defense to stop Smurf Cat from getting any more points, because including that last game, the momentum is completely in Smurf Cat's favor.
It's not stopping. The Smurf Cats are going forward, simply going in for a very nice 28. Now Wyrmwind, they have 3 minutes to match that.
I mean, yeah, they do have a really long time to, because it's that less than half the game has really passed.
Yeah.
But Smurf Cat, if you were to look at just the mid and the map control, you would think that they have complete and utter control of the game, because ever since they got on top of Wyrmwind's plat in the first, I want to say, minute and a half, they haven't not been able to get off, and looks like the Rainmakers get a couple of picks with a nice 2 down, 3 down on the side of Wyrmwind. The Rainmaker just gonna rush forward. They're gonna get a couple of more points down to 24, and Wyrmwind manages to stop the bleeding for now, but Smurf Cat's gonna keep on running forward.
Smurf Cat is not stopping right now. They're trying to jump in. Finally, Wyrmwind is able to punish. That should be a little bit of breathing room for Wyrmwind, and they need that breathing room because they haven't scored a point yet.
I mean, yeah, they've been kind of trapped in the mid. They're able to get on the board at least, and looks like Wyrmwind are going to try to at least get something going, but still Flux on the flanks and to stop that before it even starts. The hammer is going to pop the Rainmaker, and we're right back to Smurf Cat responding really well.
Yes. Wyrmwind though able to get to that platform, and it doesn't matter what happened in the first 2 minutes and a half of the game. If they're able to get a good push there, they can get back, and that's all they need to do right now. But they need to fight for that platform, they need to fight for that Rainmaker as they're trying to go in Jillies with the Carbon, not able to get the splat. Oh!
Yeah. Oh no, that's so sad if you're Wyrmwind, because now Smurf Cat just basically shut off or just canceled all your momentum, and looks like we're going to try to at least get the Rainmaker onto Wyrmwind's side to make it a lot harder for them to respond, because remember, Wyrmwind did break through that first check, or break through the checkpoint, so they are able, if they get a wipeout or 3 down or a really good numbers advantage, they are able to kind of run it forward, and so far that's what they've been trying to do, but Smurf Cat has been responding in the best way possible each time.
Yeah, but Wyrmwind needs to act fast. They only have 30 seconds left to get back in the lead, and Smurf Cat is putting them left and right, not letting them have a break right now. Wyrmwind preparing their next push. They have the cooler, they have the specials, and with that splat, they know that they need to go in.
I mean, yeah, they have about 13 seconds or 10 seconds remaining. At this point, the Rainmaker cannot go down, because they go down, that's going to be the game for them. And here we go. We are into overtime. The Rainmaker has okay, no overtime, I guess. Yeah. Smurf Cat just said, you know what? We're ending this right here, right now, and they will end round 2 with a pretty good Game 3 win.
Yeah. I mean, Game 1 was incredibly close. And then Game 2 and 3 were Smurf Cat taking control, not letting Wyrmwind play their game, not letting Wyrmwind have any momentum, any paint on the ground, anything to go. And very, very nice of Smurf Cat to adapt to what Wyrmwind was doing, learn from it, and really lock things down.
Yeah, and I think they took game number 1 to heart after losing in such a dramatic and such a heartbreaking way. They're like, you know what, we're gonna win so dominantly that we're not gonna let our opponents get anything, and that's exactly what they did for game number 2. And game number 3, they basically did the exact same thing. Yes, it was a bit closer than game 2 because Wyrmwind did break through the checkpoint, but they just shut that down, and any attempted flanks or any attempted going in by Wyrmwind was again shut down almost immediately.
Yeah, incredible game right there. Smurf Cat able to take the victory. They take the head of their groups right now. Our next game is already ready, Topic. So I guess, can we get into it?
Yeah, I guess. Why delay, as we're gonna hop straight into our third round of Swiss or of groups.
Yeah, let's get in there then. It's going to be Sea Dragons going against Anenemies. That's not easy to say, Anenemies, but
Anenemies. If I'm going to mispronounce that every time I say it, so be prepared.
We'll do our best, but please get easier names.
Yeah, so after that very entertaining round number 2, let's hope for a little less heart palpitations in this next set, as we're going to hop into our first game of round number 3, Scorch Gorge Clamblitz.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't seen a clam blitz yet. This is our first clams of the day.
Yes. You know what? I love clam blitz, so I approve.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite map mode. My favorite mode. It's so interesting, and there's always something to do whatever your role. Going on to Scorch Gorge, it's all about your ability to simply push ahead of the basket, take control of that area. If you do so, you can get a KO in a single push, which always feels good, unless it's against you.
Yeah, and I think to add on to your point, I think a lot of the resources get allocated to kind of the ramp area, because if you're able to break through that, you can, like you said, get pretty easy access to the enemy court and just basically not lock them out per se, but like make it incredibly difficult for them to get back. And since it's clan blitz, if you have really good clan rotations, everyone works pretty well, you could easily knock it out in one push.
Yeah, it's about map control. We'll see how these teams approach this map and what they're able to do. What did they do in the previous rounds? In Group I, Sea Dragons right now, they won one and lost one. Meanwhile, Anenemies have yet to put 1 point on the board. So I guess Anenemies need to win this one if they want to make it to macro bracket.
I mean, this is a perfect way to bounce back, you know? You take the first couple sets on the chin, like, okay, you know, we might not the result you would have wanted, right? But at least, like, okay, we can learn from what we did and improve on it in this set to really kind of at least take a couple games or take a game.
Oh yeah, you want to take the games. That's why you come to these weeklies. It's for the experiences, because you want to play as many teams as you can, and we'll see how Sea Dragons and Anenemies are able to fight each other.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about our first game, our first map. Now let's move on. At least, okay, never mind. We don't get to move on, as we're gonna hop straight into our round 3 match. Sea Dragons, Anenemies. Let's see what these teams bring. We do see a long rapid, the Rapid Blaster Pro Deco, another one of my favorite weapons in the game. On the side of Anenemies, we are gonna see a custom junior, very unseen weapon in the scene, and there's another, the S-Blast 92, I believe.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice weapon right there, and Anenemies opening pretty strong with that unlikely comp, honestly. But they're going to have a lot of paint on the ground between the Zap and the Junior. That should allow them to collect all the clams. As I say, that the Sea Dragons take control of mid and are trying to push their way forward already.
Yeah, but this is going to be a really big problem for Anenemies trying to push in, because the Rapid Blaster Pro Deco can just kind of bully a lot of weapons out of range. You have that long range, you have just it being a blaster in general, you have the whale. So if you're Anenemies, you're really going to have to deal with their like backliner per se before you can really get anything going.
Yeah, but right now, both teams still fighting for mid. Anenemies have a super clam at the ready, and they're threatening to get in there. Ooh, and with 2 splats, they're going to open that basket.
They are going to. That's going to be another one down for Sea Dragons, and Anenemies is going to be the first ones to score with a couple clams in reserve, get all the way down to 65, 62, 59, and it looks like that might be the end of the push. Ash there is going to go down, and that will be the official end of the first push of the game. But Anenemies with a really strong opening, and let's see if Sea Dragons can respond.
Yeah, right now, it's a decent first push, you know. You're happy to get these 40 points already. Now Sea Dragons, they have the super clan, they have a few specials at the ready, and they're happy to push forward. They already get a trade, but you need more than a trade if you want to push forward right now. Sea Dragons are losing player after player and need to wait for these jumps.
Yeah, so far, Anenemies is doing a really good job of just not allowing Sea Dragons into mid. Anytime they've tried, they've been shut down super quickly. Pink, they're trying to go for a bit of a rush forward type of deal. It is going to work. They're going to stay alive for a lot longer than possibly they expected. But unfortunately, nothing's going to really come out of that. As Sea Dragons, now with their opportunity getting 2 down, World G here, pop or with the Zuka almost at the ready, deflecting the bomb, and now Sea Dragons have the opportunity here to get in. They're not going to, but Mr. Saturn with the second chance is not gonna work, and Sea Dragons is gonna get shut down, gonna get wiped out in Anenemies with a really good defense and not even allow them to score.
Clutching that defense on the side of Anenemies, and now they get a counter push 4-3. 2 minutes left in the game, and the Anenemies have all the momentum right there. They're looking to get in, they're able to punish the Decapitator, and they're still pushing forward, but they cannot break through that dam.
Yeah, so the wall of Sea Dragons is standing super strong at the moment, but as I say that, it is going to fall, and Anenemies with 1 member remaining, they're gonna go down as well. And if you're Anenemies, you got a question: was that push really worth it? Because now you just gave Sea Dragons a free power clan, but with how good their defense has been, that might be worth it.
I mean, right there, the Anenemies, they used resources to get forward, and they didn't get any points. And they gave an extra super clan to the Sea Dragons. Never mind, the Sea Dragons no longer have that extra clan. Anenemies are simply going forward again. Another super clan in the basket. This time, they're going to extend their points, provided they put a single clan in the basket.
Well, there's a single clam, as they're gonna keep it going, getting it down to 37 with Sea Dragons nowhere in sight. Only 2 members in position to really attack the clam basket. It is gonna work, but Anenemies isn't gonna go 3 down, so this will be the end of their push. But with in the last 35 seconds, Sea Dragons have not been able to get on the board. In fact, they've barely been able to get onto Anenemies' side of the map.
Yep, it's been very rough. There's 20 seconds left in the game. The Sea Dragons, they need a push, and they need it now. They're able to get the zap. That is huge. That is oh well, they already put the tactical down, but now there's a big bubbler right next to the basket. It's just the crab tank to defend. That crab tank is not going to last long enough. The Sea Dragons are in there. They need to keep that basket open, Topic.
Yeah, but do they have the clams to keep it open? They only have 3 clams left in reserve. They're going to need a lot more than that if they want to win this game. No, Anenemies are going to hold strong, getting 3 down. That's a delayed wipeout in Anenemies with a very dominant game number 1, not allowing Sea Dragons to score until basically the start of overtime.
Yeah. Anenemies, they did a few mistakes. They let Sea Dragons have opportunities, have clams. But it didn't matter, because the second Sea Dragons were pushing forward, they were losing bodies way too fast. Which means Anenemies get game number 1.
I mean, that was just what more can we say? It was just a really solid game from Anenemies. Sea Dragons, they had, like you said, they had opportunities. They were shut down before anything could really get started. But let's see if they can clean up those mistakes and possibly force a game number 3 as we head into game number 2, Tower Control Mako Mart.
Yeah, tower control on Mako. There's going to be a lot more fights. We've seen lots of fights today. We've loved to see fights, and I feel like players are playing more and more aggro these days, which I love to see as a caster. And going on to Mako Mart, there's always a way back onto the middle of the map. There's always a cover that allows you to break the distance, which means we get to see more fights around the tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think to add to your point, I think it's mainly because this map is a lot, not open, it's a lot more variations in how you can get in. But I think generally for most teams, especially on tower control, you really want to make sure you get both the enemy plat and snipe. If you get those 2, you can basically guarantee a free first checkpoint, and while not getting to the second checkpoint, you can basically guarantee yourself also a decent chunk of the way towards the second checkpoint.
Yeah, it's and that chunk that between the first and the second checkpoint is often where a push ends or gets new momentum and gets forward, gets through the checkpoint and get more and more and more. This is where things snowball one way or another for one team. So we'll see how these teams are able to do. I feel like Anenemies, their ability to simply come back and get more fights will be very, very useful for them.
I mean, yeah, and I think their comp is very, again, like we talked about in the previous game, very fast paced. They want to be in your face. I think if they can kind of cut out any unnecessary deaths, they could really look to just get, because I think we can both agree that the second checkpoint is usually the chokehold, right? Because it's it's in a very bad spot for an attacking team. It's in a really great spot for a defending team. So if once that checkpoint falls, then basically that decides the game for 99% of games.
Oh yeah, if you lose that checkpoint, you are very much in trouble. Here comes the custom range blaster and the vanilla roller, I think? Yeah, that's a vanilla roller. Lots of ledge options for the Sea Dragons right there. That is what you need on the side of Anenemies. Why would you change something that's already working?
I mean, actually, no, there is a couple of changes. They do switch to an end zap, and instead of having the cooler heavy getter, they did switch over to the nouveau one with the crab, which does make sense because crab is still a very strong weapon or special on this map. So you can basically take over a stack. You could play really good defense on snipe. So I can see why they will switch over to the crab one, and so far, it's working out in their favor.
Anenemies winning the fight and going forward again, but the Sea Dragons are ready to defend that checkpoint. The crab tank is activated. We'll see if that crab tank is able to defend again as the Sea Dragons are scurrying away. That's an easy checkpoint for Anenemies.
Yeah, and they're nice kill there by Pink, and they're super set up to get this second checkpoint, as that's basically 3 down on the side of Sea Dragons, and Anenemies is just looking to pour it on and just keep it going. And there it is, the second checkpoint falls. We didn't even have the chance to look at it as it fell so quickly. A member of Sea Dragons is able to get on the flank. The heavy is watching the tower, and that will be the end of Anenemies' push. However, there are still members here to try to contest the tower, but Anenemies, very, very good push, very strong push, and they might keep going.
They're not stopping, but they lost 2 players in there. There's nobody left to get onto the tower. Sea Dragons, they're alive. At least they are keeping themselves alive, but it's going to be a rough one right there.
I mean, yeah, Anenemies is just continuing to push. Sea Dragons is really unable to stop them. Those GG strikes are going to be used to try to at least stall it out for a little bit longer, give the members of Sea Dragons a way to get in. But Anenemies rushing forward. Marlo, the last one left, and the momentum will carry that to the goal. And Anenemies with a very dominant game, or very dominant win, and will basically 100-0 Sea Dragons to take the set.
I mean, we saw the Anenemies in game number 1 kill the Sea Dragons with 1,000 cuts, going in over and over, getting more clams in, getting more pushes in. And then in game number 2 being, oh wait, we can simply go forward and win. Getting all the momentum, not stopping, staying under the Sea Dragon's nose and bunching their ticket onto the next stage of this tournament and topic. I believe this is the end of groups.
Yes, with that'll be the end of groups, as all 3 groups are done. However, stay right there because Top Cut will be coming in a few minutes, so stick around for Spook or Scream.
And we are back. Topic, we are now in Great White Bracket of this Swim or Sink tournament. Spooky edition.
Yeah, very, very spooky. A little bit of a ghost held us back a little bit. So we are jumping into this set on game number 2. Proto's Glorious Kings versus Smurf Cat, a team we did see a little bit earlier today. And Proto's Glorious Kings are going to come out victorious on game 1. But let's see, can they keep this up or keep up this momentum and take this set 2-0 as we're going to hop quickly into our next game, Hagglefish Tower Control.
Hagglefish Tower Control, very much a classic of this game, and on one side, very much a classic team for Proto's Glorious team, and Smurf Cat bringing back their very aggro bamboo wiper team.
Yeah, not a lot of changes from the last time we saw Smurf Cat. And on the side of Proto's Glorious Kings, we're going to see another pencil. This is very, very strong, and other than that, a lot of mid-range to up-front fighting weapons.
Yep, and right now Proto's Glorious King already activating the cooler, going forward, trying to get to the first checkpoint, but here comes the answer by Smurf Cat with Bazooka and a lot of shots. Neptune getting a lot of splash there. It's going to be a lot of momentum for Smurf Cats one now going forward.
Yeah, they're going to take a very, very quick lead and work their way towards that first checkpoint. However, Proto's Glorious Kings are able to stall it with the use of the strikes here and are going to stop the first push from Smurf Cat. And thankfully, they stopped that super early, because if not, getting through that first checkpoint with how neutral this game has been, could have been a difficulty for both these teams.
Bazookas from Neptune are finding their mark. Neptune gets punished for it, but Smurf Cat is still very much in this fight as both teams are trying to take control over this tower. Ooh! Unfortunate trade there.
Yeah, that trade is not really going to help out any team, as Proto's Glorious Kings are going to try to go in. That's a good start. The Zuka getting another one, and with the space they have, they could easily get a couple more points here, which they are going to do. But now the question becomes, can they break through this first checkpoint? Because Smurf Cat are going to start rotating over to that right-hand side. They're going to take the lead. There's the Zuka from Neptune, just getting a clear shot on tower to get someone off of it. Goodbye here on the tower, trying to break through that first checkpoint. But no members of Smurf Cat is going to be there, so that's a quick and easy first checkpoint.
Yeah, checkpoint 1 is pretty important. The second checkpoint is the one that often decides the game. Right now, Smurf Cat, they only have this hammer left. That's all they have left, and the Wiper is going to be punished for it. Proto's Glorious King are back on the tower, back on the attack. They're going to get to the second checkpoint now.
Yeah, and this is where Smurf Cat needs to hunker down if they want a chance to get some points on the board. But Proto's Glorious Kings pretty easily able to break through that second checkpoint. Smurf Cat is going to respond super quickly. Toto here is going to hop on tower to at least reset it, get a pick on the pencil. So now Smurf Cat's looking to defend here, but they go 3 down again, and it took them a little bit, but Proto's Glorious Kings are going to be back on the tower.
Yep, and right now, the tower is moving slowly back, and as I say that, Proto's Glorious King still in there, still keeping the tower forward. That's what you want to do. You simply want to touch the tower over and over so that it stays at the same point, so that you keep getting more special and more momentum. Smurf Cat with Bazooka able to throw things around, and finally the tower is going to reset. But what a push by Protos.
Yeah, and they really had a lot of mid and the map painted in their color. So now it's time for Smurf Cats to take back all that turf. But Proto's Glorious Kings are not going to let that have it so easily, as even though they did go 3 down, they're almost immediately responding with some aggression. However, they're going to get punished for that super quickly. 3 down on both sides here. Neptune on the flank trying to go for the pencil is going to work. And now Smurf Cat with the opportunity to get some points on the board and even maybe break through that first checkpoint.
Time to pop off for Smurf Cat right now. Here comes Bazooka. It's not going to find the mark, but it's allowing the tower to get to the first checkpoint. with nobody to really attack, Inkling should be able to go through it. Smurf Cat almost getting there, but only need to stay on the tower a bit longer, and that's the first checkpoint, which is a nice thing to have.
Yeah, that's going to be a good start, but they still have under a minute left to go, and they have to break through that second checkpoint to really at least get some damage caused onto Proto's Glorious Kings. But it looks like Protos are not going to let that go at all, as with less than 30 seconds to go, Smurf Cat still has a very, very uphill battle to climb.
Yeah, it is not over. Ooh, very nice Zuka shot right there. Smurf Cats are going to try to get in, but they get punished for it. Proto's still in the fight, still denying the tower, and it's trade after trade right now with just 10 seconds left. The trades are not good enough. And Proto's are waiting for that tower to get here, to get the trap, and here he comes.
Yeah, there it is. The 52 on Proto's Glorious Kings, just gonna end it with the Splatoon classic of just sharking in a little puddle of ink and just waiting. And with that, Proto's Glorious Kings will take the set in a sweep and move on to our quarterfinals.
Yep, that is quarterfinals for Proto's Glorious Kings. Smurf Cat, we can say goodbye to them. They fought well, but in the end, not well enough. Proto's Glorious King are going to meet Duck Motif in quarterfinals. That's going to be an interesting game, probably, but I believe we won't be the ones watching quarterfinals, Topic.
Yeah, that'll be it from this set of commentators, of course. However, we had some house cleaning to take care of, so Pat, where can people find you?
You can find me on both Twitch and Twitter at PatJ or Tom, with underscores in between. If you remove the underscores, you can also find me on Blue Sky. And Topic, where can I find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me over on Twitter in Blue Sky at Topical2. You can see where I'm commentating next or what I'm talking about next, or you can find me over on Discord at Topic_2. And with that, that'll be it from us. But a quick little more house cleaning. So have you been working on a team that doesn't quite have a fourth member?
No. That's not good. Ignore that. We'd like to thank Jim, our wonderful observer, for having us and doing a good job. It's time for us to say goodbye and have fun watching the rest of the tournament.
Yep, see y'all next time.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back for a special edition of Swim or Sink. We are Spook and Scream now. My name is Rocket here, joined by Frost. How are you doing today, Frost?
I'm having ginger ale because it's sugar and it's almost Halloween.
Yeah, pretty fitting and pretty fitting colors indeed, as now we are jumping straight into our top cut bracket here. We are in Great White, and our first matchup we have is Happy has an AP biotest tomorrow versus why is it already stankin', which is just a mouthful of names, which I feel like we're gonna have to abbreviate here coming soon, Frost. But anyways, hopefully Happy passes that test tomorrow. But taking a look at how both these teams have done so far in this tournament, Happy has an AP test have been really undefeated here in terms of not only sets but maps. And if you take a look at the other side, similar story here. So somebody's gonna lose their first map somewhere.
Oh no, a win streak a win streak at risk here for both Happy has an AP biotest tomorrow and Wyatt already stankin'. This is gonna be interesting here. Robo Ramen Splat Zones, a very big staple of the scene nowadays, I feel.
Yeah, it is a very, very interesting map indeed, because it's not your typical zones map, because you have the flanking routes, of course, around the bottom there, which can really open up some windows for maybe, say, an aggressive brush player. I've seen Carbon Roller, or maybe even a sneaky little Splatana as well, but it provides that little wrinkle side route that can really disrupt an enemy team's backline if they're not careful. But simultaneously as well, the backline on Splat Zone's Robo Ramen is so important, not only maybe a pencil, but maybe even Splatlings as well, just because of how close vicinity they are with the zones, because normally on other maps, you're not as far pushed up. However, in terms of map modes go, Robo Ramen has some really, really close height advantage points near the zone.
No, definitely, yeah. This is a very, very vertical-centric map with the fact that it has an entire bottom layer. So that provides a lot of opportunity for skill expression, like you were saying earlier, and, you know, both for front lines and for back lines to provide their necessary effort on the team. Also, side note, is the ramen blue? Are you seeing this?
The ramen is blue. I'm not sure how to feel about that, honestly, because I don't know about you, but that is not what you typically associate with ramen. And honestly, the first flavor I instinctively think of when it comes to blue is blueberry, which I don't know what is the combination of. That's
scary. That's a true Halloween spook right now here at IPL, man. I do not want to imagine that.
Yeah, probably a chef's nightmare there. But despite that, both of these teams are pretty evenly matched. They are our 4 and 5 seeds respectively, and like we mentioned earlier, they are undefeated. Both are undefeated in sets and maps, so it's already going to be a heavyweight match. And we're not even in like the deeper matchups. You normally see this in semis or finals, but no, this is a best of 3 in quarters.
Yeah, no, this is best of 3 in quarters. And speaking of 3, not only are we doing Splat Zone's Robo Ramen for game 1 of the set, we're also doing Splat Zone's Robo Ramen for game 3.
Yeah, I'm seeing double here. I'm not sure if that will stick, but we will see. If it does stick, then it's going to be really interesting to see how the first match turns out, because it might show us a little snippet of a potential game 3 if it comes to that. But who knows? This game could end in a little bit of a surprise if one team really just hits the ground running and really gets to start off the series off to a hot start. And looking at our second map, Tower Control Macro Mart can also be one of those snowballing maps as well.
No, definitely, yeah. Once they can potentially get past the cooler area, especially if they can clear that part of the map where the team hasn't already prevalent. Oh, we're no longer dealing with double Blue Robin. Third game of the set is Splat Zone's Barnacle and Dime.
Yeah, I was about to say that would be a very, very, very weird set, but Barnacle and Dime, always a classic flat map for zones. And if it ends up being a 3-game set, it is a very, very good map to end off on, because I feel like Splat Zone's Barnacle and Dime, it's either that mode map or it's Hagglefish Market that seem to be the really standard pretty default kind of where teams really get to flex off their mechanical skill.
Oh yeah, they're overplayed. They're commonly played for a reason. As we dive straight into game one, Captain Happy, he has AP Biotest tomorrow, as well as Why Do It Stink? And so it begins.
Yes, we see Jeff on that sploosh, which is very, very normal for them. Not really a lot of surprises in terms of both sides. Happy has an AP Biotest running the knot and pencil combination, which is very interesting in terms of firepower, obviously having that splash in as well. But we see here, Happy has an AP Biotest already off to a hot start, being able to get control of the zone with Cooler, and you saw that initial tri-strike as well, but the Zuka coming out from the opposite side, just trying to contest them here a little bit. But so far, it is looking all Happy has an AP Biotest here, as one player does go down for Why Is It Already Stankin', and Ultra Jeff is in already with this stamp, finds one, finds two with that throw, and they are just on a roll. Finds three as well.
That is a triple for Jeff. Both picks with that Sploosh-O-Matic and with that Ultra Stab. They're dodging Zuka shots back and forth. They're already halfway through their points as Why Already Stankin' is now in a scramble to take the zone back. Happy has an AP Biotest, already has another strike. Zone is still in their possession. They have no penalty points. They're providing a lot of pressure from that backline with that knot, with that pencil, as well as the destructive power of that sploosh and with that splash. Let's see if this gal has the potential to get this zone in control of Why Already Stankin'. Does not look like the case though. 2593 Rocket. This is gonna be this could potentially be quick.
Yeah, as Happy have been on a roll from the get-go, obviously slowed down a little bit by that cap by Why It's Already Stankin' to force some penalty points, but they are been just shown to be able to hold on to the zone with so much pressure on them, especially with Luca having this tri-strike available as well to potentially go out for a lockout scenario here if they play their cards right. One player is already down. You heard the Cooler pop for Why It's Already Stankin', so this is really their last opportunity to try to get back in here as they are nearing the under 20 point mark. The Zuka will be popped, but two players are down for Happy as an AP test. This could be the break that they need, and Why It's Already Stankin' will eventually take the zone now.
That is a 53 penalty timer for Happy has an AP Biotest. Len gets a pick here. They're already up in Happy's face here. The soda is ready, but not fast enough for that range blaster to get that soda buff here. Happy has an AP Biotest is now speeding their way back onto the zone, trying to potentially get this game back in their hands. Jeff is back on the scene, getting a double. Stamp is ready too. Zone is back in control of Happy's crew here. Curling Bomb goes out here. They're being really sneaky here. Can this shark potentially happen?
Yeah, and especially on this map, there goes the stamp, but no victims will be found. The throw not quite finding its mark here, but it won't even matter because they are continuously going on. And of course, as I say that, Jeff gets sniped by a beautiful Zuka shot from, I believe that was the shot. Yes, it was the shot. And Len managing to win the 1v1 against that Nautilus. Now, Why It's Already Stankin', they're not giving up here, Frost. They still have an opportunity to get back into this as they still have plenty of time. Little under 2 minutes left, but still just continuously keeping up that pressure.
Yeah, definitely. Why Already Stankin' is once again in the face of Happy as the AP Biotest. They have that big bubbler there to block off any choke points. We have strikes ready from Luca here. That could just be cheese-worthy, depending on how well they cover the zone here. Why Already Stankin' already is out of the penalty zone. Splat pops that Zuka here. No victims so far here. Here comes the strike from Happy as an AP Biotest. That already looks to lose control from Why Already Stankin', but it's now back in control for Happy as an AP Biotest. Here comes Jeff. Can they get one person? But immediately gets shut down by that pencil here. Can this pencil get two by the looks of things? I'm not by the looks of things here. They almost have soda.
Yeah, with soda popped, this will be an opportunity for them to get back into this, but Luca already has another tri-strike build. The bubbler from the other side tried to stall it a little bit, but this is looking dangerous now for Stankin' as they're as Happy is almost out of their penalty and just out of it. With 5 ticks left, they need to jump on this if they want to save this match, but it will not be the case as Happy has an AP Biotest, will strike first and take game number 1 in this quarterfinal set.
They take the evil corrupted blue Robin Bowl. That was nearing a really clean sweep, but even still, Why Already Stankin' has put up a really solid fight. They managed to almost get past that second half, but not close enough by the looks of things. We're going to Mako Mart TC next.
Yeah, and I think we'll see a little bit of a different playstyle, obviously not only because of the map change, but the mode change. Splat zones, you really are very limited to the timer and the penalty you ensues. It's a little bit similar with tower control, but the difference being is if you manage to get a good push in, you get past that checkpoint and you're able to continue to build that momentum, and eventually if an opportunity presents itself, you're able to keep the ball rolling. And what a better map than Mako Mart on it, and I expect to see a lot of blaster play. We saw it in that previous game, and with a map like Mako Mart with those difference in elevations and those corners, I feel like it would really benefit them, especially as well. We saw why it's already stankin run a bubbler weapon, which I think could also play well here.
Of course, yeah, especially with the amount of pressure that an enemy team can provide from the verticality that Mako Mart has. Even if it's not a map like Robo Ramen, Mako Mart has a lot of has some verticality to it that can potentially stop pushes in the making.
Yeah, but I feel that MVP for that previous first game was Enraged Jeff. I mean, you saw that blazing hot start, managing to find.
Oh yeah.
But not only was their presence made and impact made on that game, you could tell a little bit from on the side of Why Is Already Snaking. They had to keep Enraged Jeff in check, and it felt like they had to just be on the lookout, because who knows, they could pop out of nowhere with that stamp. So now a little bit of mind games to be played, as we have seen Enraged Jeff does not typically switch off of that. Sploosh is their go-to weapon, and I wouldn't be surprised if we bring it here, especially with those narrow lanes on either side of the map.
Oh yeah, that is potential to be completely mowed down by something that can outpace a backline or something that's more supportive. And no time to analyze further. Game 2 is on the horizon here.
Yeah, let's see if there's any changes. No changes for the side of Happy as an AP test. On the other side, no changes either. Pretty standard, sticking with their guns. Actually, switching off of that bubble, Why Is Already Stinking doesn't go with the bubble, and actually will counter with quite an interesting lineup indeed. The Tri-Strike's actually going out for Happy as an AP battle test. They have been so effective. Luca has been so effective at getting those out right from the get-go, and I feel like that would be really effective here. But we see the Zuka managing to actually find 2 players of Happy, and actually a third will go down now. So Why It's Already Stankin not taking that loss lightly, continuing to move in. Len making their presence known as well.
Len is deep in enemy territory. They take down 2 and can potentially get a swift escape, but no! Happy as an AP biotest immediately collapses on Len as they jump back to what they thought was safety. The push now begins for Happy. Has a birthday test. Whoops, wrong team. Wrong team name. Happy has an AP biotest tomorrow. The Nod is here. They almost have rain ready. They're approaching the fridge here. And Jeff has that hammer. No victim so far here. It's looking to be potentially locked out, but it doesn't look like that's the case so far.
Yeah, you see the rain forcing off members of Stankin off of that height advantage there, which is just a little benefit you have with rain. Not only being able to basically be an AoE, but to force enemies just to play in a little bit of an unconventional spot. We see here Luca has those Tri-Strikes. They will go out, just trying to see if they can buy Happy any space here to work with, as the lead is not that large at all. Stankin will have already gone past that first checkpoint, but Happy hasn't quite managed to reach there, so still anybody's game here. Still plenty of game to be played. Ultra Jeff just trying to find an opening. Will find the ability to build up that hammer, which could potentially prove huge here.
Len pops a splashdown immediately to open up a push, potentially for Stankin. They get Ultra Jeff here. Can they pick up anyone else? They just pinged that Nautilus with that point sensor. Try not to lose that momentum there, though. Make sure someone is on the tower. Make sure you can commit to the push. The Soda is out here. The pencil is covering ground here. 2 specials are already being popped for Happy as an AP bio test. The hammer goes down, but the strikes immediately come back from Ultra Jeff, like you were saying earlier, Rocket. Those strikes come every other push. It's insane.
Yeah, and I feel like those strikes could be the end of this game if played carefully, because it's just the ability for it to deny any control of the tower is so special. It's either that or Kraken, but the tri-strikes obviously being such a versatile special that you could use. But stankin already building up another great push here, trying to extend their lead a bit. Cooler is out, and the map is mostly pink there in their favor. Len and the Zuka being popped as well, but there are the strikes that at least slow them down a little bit. They will find one, will find two. Now with two players down, and Rage Jeff almost manages to find the pick. Pencil, a good responding pick, but this push is not yet over, Frost.
This is going to be close here, even though stankin has lead here. The soda has been popped. They're slowly yet steadily making their way out towards a potential win here. Ultra Jeff is potentially going to push up here, goes down though. Can they get the nod? Doesn't look like that's the case though for the pencil here. The Gal is under heavy pressure here with that rain, coming from the pencil from the nod here. They're ducking in and out of here. Here they get the nod here. It's 3 players on each team here as we keep going, I guess.
Yeah, and a little bit of a different Happy has an AP Battle Test team we're seeing here. They have been unable to get past this first checkpoint, but this might change if Ultra Jeff could get a flank. No, quickly shut down by Len. So far, stankin have been able to play to their weapons advantage. We'll find 1, 2 down now for Happy as an AP Battle Test, and the remaining members are forced back, but Ultra Jeff is making sure that cannot happen. Will go down in the attempted scrum. A minute left. It is crunch time now for Happy as an AP Battle Test. They need to get a very quick stop here, because so far stankin have been able to keep up their aggressiveness, keep up the pressure, and keep up their momentum to its fullest.
Yeah, the tempo has never stopped for Wyatt already stankin. I don't recall a push happening for Happy has an AP Biotest tomorrow. They have not let go of the wheel here. The soda has already come out here. The whale's coming out. The pressure is now being applied on Happy's team here. As we enter the 30-second mark, this is the game closer here. As Wyatt already stankin has the lead. The Zuka is popped out. No, goes down. It's a 3v3 here. 2 on big. Oh, Ultra Jeff. I'm getting lost in the action here. Everything's moving so quickly. That's 2 for Ultra Jeff.
Yeah, Ultra Jeff making sure this overtime push at least has some momentum on the back. It is not over yet for Happy as an AP Battle Test. If they can get this overtime push going, this could be the set here, but they have one opportunity to do it, and they need to do it to an effectiveness, because if they jump off of that tower, it is all over. But that stamp is available for Enraged Jeff. They will find their way past that first checkpoint, but Lucas does go down. The stamp also shut down from the Zuka. This is huge, and 3 members are down for Happy has an AP Bio Test, and just like that, stankin evening things up 1-1. And Frost, we are going to game number 3.
We are going to game 3. That was a very clutch moment from that Zuka, from Stank Zuka. I'm not sure whether or not that came from Omega or from Buns, but that was definitely something that they needed, especially considering that Happy had an AP Bio Test tomorrow, has both a stamp from Enraged Jeff as well as the nod popping that rain. That was very, very crucial for them to get this game.
Yeah, and now we move on to game number 3. This is the true test. It is do or die time for both of these teams, Splat Zones, Barnacle and Dime. We saw both teams running that pencil here, and this is just a sniper haven, just a flat land for them to work with. But not only that, Enraged Jeff has the entire flat land of mid to work with as well. Obviously, you are limited slightly on Mako Mart because of those little elevations near the middle, but in Splat Zones, Barnacle and Dime, all bets are off.
Yeah, no, I think this probably is a map that both teams can potentially extremely pop off on. Like you said earlier, the pressure that the back lines of both teams can apply, both with the pencil for both teams, as well as Happy's Nautilus, right? That's a Nautilus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. The pressure that both of those weapons can apply, especially with zones on a very flat map like this, not a lot of obstructions, not a lot of walls or verticality. It's once again anyone's game here, as it is sudden death in this situation.
Yeah, it's really all up to how well Why it's already stankin' can really limit these playmakers, especially Enraged Jeff on the side. You saw how well they have been able to operate in game number 1. In game number 2, we saw them have their effectiveness limited just because of the ability that pencil and another player from stankin' just taking those 2v1, shutting down that hammer before it can cause a lot of severe damage. But enough of that, it is do or die time. Game number 3, let's see if we stick with the same comps. No, a junior and an edit being pulled out here. Very interesting choice, sacrificing the pencil for the heavy edit here, and Keely Luca on that junior now. Very interesting indeed. On the other side, no major changes for stankin'.
That being said, though, Happy now has a big bubbler on their side, which could potentially be useful as it now provides an obstruction against those really dangerous Zukas that stankin' can produce. Here's that bubbler in effect here. Luke has already brought it out here, and there it is, blocking a very, very dangerous Zuka shot here.
Yeah, just being able to provide the space to work with could provide a good combination with these other specials here. The pencil will find the edit. That is key there. There is the cooler eliminated, and just like that, stankin' will be able to take past the zone, and surely they could be able to take back the lead if they can continue up with this momentum. They will do just that, but the blaster has special available to potentially go in here. All the players are come this could be huge, but they won't find the value as just escaping in the nick of time. And now in Ultra Jeff will go in, will find one, will try to go for the second, will find it, and just like that, the value of the sploosh is reigning supreme. But 3 members are down for Happy as an AP biotest.
So much stuff is happening within that single push. Both Enraged Jeff was popping off with that Sploosh-o-matic, potentially securing 3, but then Len immediately lining up the stars to get a potential triple pick here. Scourge is out here with the Nautilus. Oh, that's not the Naut, that's the headed here. The Soda has been activated. stankin' is in control of the zone, and they're pushing back Happy's team a lot further. Pencil takes down Jeff here. It's looking to be more pushback from stankin'.
This pencil is going to be huge for stankin's ability to hold the point. They have been able to really play keep away with all these players for Happy as an AP biotest. They've been just unable to get in the zone, but of course, as soon as I say that, the zone will be taken by Happy as an AP biotest. The cooler being popped as well, so now a chance for them to take back the lead, as the penalty points are not high for us at all. They are almost able to get past this, and they will surely take the lead here.
Yeah, just as you say that, Commentators blessing, Commentators curse, who knows? They now have the lead as they go past into the 40s range. Len has splashdown ready. This could be potentially useful in cheesing the zone here. Doesn't look like that's the case. They get Jeff down, they get Scourge down. That's a double piece for them. Zone is now in control for stankin'. That was a very amazing play from Len here. Can they get the nod? We get Passatron here. Trying to get the pick here. They're joined by their team now. Doesn't look like that's the case though, as the rest of Happy has an AP bio test. Comes zeroing in on the zone. Luca with that bubble. Jeff with that thrown hammer.
Yeah, and just like that, Happy has an AP battle test back on the zone here. The penalty points almost meet their actual points. Zuka being popped here just to try to find an opening pick for stankin' to get back into it here. You see the player left alone on that left side, but now Cooler is available for stankin' to get in. This whale also popped to disrupt them a little bit, but Happy is not budging at all. The shot does go down for them, so they are 1 player down. stankin' does have a slight advantage now, and they will cap the zone. It has so far been back and forward, but still, Happy has the lead.
No, yeah, and the specials immediately come back from Happy. Jeff took the point first with Stamp. Luca came in with the bubble, and the Zuka shots came in. Here's the Soda now. Happy's deciding to push further into stankin's territory here, by the looks of things. Actually, no, I lied. They're going back into zone, making sure that they can secure this zone as the penalty is removed for Happy's team. They are now pushing past into the 20s here, as stankin has decided to push further here. The Gal joined by everyone else, but the Gal goes down. Oh, that was very untimely, going into Len's splashdown.
Yeah, and a key team fight win there for stankin, because they were almost knocked out potentially there, being able to at least force the penalty. A minute left. They are now out of their own penalty. Cooler is almost there. Cooler will be had. Zuka is had for stankin as well, waiting for an opportunity to present itself. You see on the other side that stamp will get shut down. The junior bubble is available here for Luca, but it needs to come out now because the lead will be taken by stankin and could potentially lead into knockout territory here. Happy has to jump onto this point. Luca popping the bubble. 10 ticks are left on the zone. They really need to jump onto this fast. Beautiful from the stamp, and just in the nick of time, Happy will take it, but now with one final overtime push left.
Yeah, no, this is truly going into do or die here. Scourge providing more space for the rest of Happy with that headed here, with that soda buff that headed can also provide. stankin also has Killer Whale, has Zuka ready. They could potentially overturn this push within a matter of seconds as Happy is going close to the 10s here. But zone is lost, and it looks like Happy, within mere moments of the game ending, takes game 3, takes set, moves further into Great White Bracket.
What a back and forth game. What a back and forth set in total, Frost. That game was pretty much just a summary of how that entire set turned out. I mean, you saw the initial win from stankin and then going back to Happy, and then just like that, it's just back and forward. And I was really thinking that stankin was gonna take that one because they had one last overtime hold, but just Happy with their constant just their fast pace and their effectiveness to basically deathball the zone was able to let them basically steal that game and win the set and now move on to semis.
No, exactly. I think now that they've swapped off, on that last game in particular, they swapped off from that pencil to that junior, and that bubble, like we've said earlier, was pretty useful in providing a lot of cover, providing a lot of space that could safeguard the rest of the team from a deadly counter push.
Yeah, GG's to them. They will now move up into semis to face our number 1 seed, my little Henlo there, but we are actually going to be taking a look at a different semis final matchup coming here shortly. Proto's Glorious Kings to face against Monsoon very shortly here. We will be moving to game number 1 between that set, and as a reminder to you, dear viewers, we are in best of 5 now, so longer brackets, longer action, maybe even 5-game sets, but that's just my hope here. We're gonna take a look at these teams in just a moment. The first map actually gonna be Splat Zone Ship Shape Cargo. What are your thoughts on that map, Frost?
Ship shape on zones, that is definitely filled with a lot of stuff to, keep into consideration. That bridge is definitely a big point of interest for these teams here, for both Proto's Glorious Kings and Monsoon. It's scary. That can provide a lot of leverage. It's a really big vantage point for both a backline, even if they don't want to stay, if they're feeling brave enough to, be right dead in the center of the mid. Yeah,
I agree. And yet again, it seems like we have another heavyweight matchup waiting for us. If you take a look at how these tournaments have run so far, Proto's Glorious Kings only dropping 1 game in the previous round against Duck Motif, but still winning that set 2-1. On the other side, we have yet another undefeated team so far, Monsoon. They have been on a roll. They are our number 3 seed. They have not dropped a single map, and it is going to be very interesting to see if they can keep the ball rolling.
Once again, more win streaks are at risk here. Miner, Storm, Niso, Shiny Silver going up against Proto. Totally Not Energy, Benji Fishy, CJ, and Ori.
Yeah, an all-star lineup for both teams indeed. And just taking a little snapshot at what we got in our next games. Game 2 will be Rainmaker on Crab Leg Capital. Game 3 will be Umami Ruins Clan Blitz. And if necessary, Game 4 Tower Control Inkblood Art. And number 5, which I always love to see, Splat Zone's Mahi. I don't know if any map really sticks out to you in particular, Frost, but that is the map for me.
I don't know why, but TC Inkblot always gets to me, man. Those games can end either in an instant or can go on for an eternity by the looks of things.
Yeah, indeed. And It's just these inverted colors are like really,
this is
really funny. By the way, you see the sky a green and the ink you see there also a green, but it's the spooky month. It is the spooky month. We are here for spook or scream, something a little bit to twist your tongue a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Crableg Capital here as our game 2?
Crableg Rainmaker, that is also something that could potentially end really quickly. I've seen games here that can be blitzed, especially if, you know, if enough pressure is applied as quickly as possible. Because there's a lot of mobility that can be done here through those grates, through the inkable walls here as well. A lot of movement can go unnoticed on Crableg.
Yeah, I also think as well, it provides a very interesting dynamic with the amount of grates that are on the map. It's usually when you get past that first checkpoint, you're either forced to take that jump on the left side or walk into basically no man's land on the grates. And if you're left wide open like that, Rainmaker is such a volatile map in such that you can just be push can be completely shut down by a sneaking sniper, maybe a sneaking brush or roller. But enough talking about that. Let's see what we have here for our comps. A very standard comp on one side. On the other, we see Splatana, Bucket, Gal, and Pencil. Pretty standard for zones indeed. We have 2 pencils ready to duel it out here for supremacy.
Yeah, not only that, we also have 2 gals here ready to potentially duel for zone control. It's looking like the zone is mostly covered with yellow, which means Proto's Glorious Kings take zone first. Nico is potentially trying to get some more zone for Monsoon here. Not looking like that's the case though. Wiper survivability here. Commentator's curse, my bad, Nico. Goes down.
Yeah, Shiny on this pencil will manage to at least get the cooler out and force some jumps. Now Monsoon will be able to take the zone and could potentially go for it. The stamp is being popped, just trying to keep Proto's Glorious Kings out of this. And just like that, Monsoon will take a very slim lead. They will actually take the zone back and continue to extend it. This could be a little dangerous here and could allow Monsoon to really pull away from Proto's Glorious Kings. But if you look at the other side, you see that Zuko available and it will go out. The pencil is down, another is down as well. There goes the bucket. There goes those tri-strikes, and now Proto's Glorious Kings will try to take back the zone.
Another zeroing in on the zone. Half of the zone is covered with Proto's Glorious Kings ink here, but that looks to be immediately shut down as Proto's Glorious Kings take the zone here. Proto goes down to Storm here, and it's looking to be an immediate zone flip in this scenario right now. The whales come out. Storm is pushing forward here with that wall to their advantage. The bucket is accompanying them in this push. They immediately make quick work of whoever was hiding there. Miner has strikes on standby, potentially being very good for pushing Proto's Glorious Kings further or capping back zone in case something goes awry.
You could see those strikes being popped for a counter to that Zuka, which is being popped right now on the left side of your screen there. Will not find their target, but the strikes do eventually go out in favor of Monsoon, and they could potentially go for the killing blow here. 2 players are down for Proto's Glorious Kings, but an evening 2 picks go in favor of Proto. They need to get onto the zone. Only the Blaster is really in position, but that is not a painting weapon. 18 ticks left. The remainder of Proto's Glorious Kings need to hump onto the zone, and as Monsoon continues to hold on with their onslaught, that is a brutal killer whale that will just isolate and delete anything in sight, and just like that, Monsoon will keep their winning streak going, winning game number 1 in our semis.
So that was definitely very quick work on Ship Shape by the looks of things here. Storm, Miner, Shiny, and Nico on Wiper take game 1.
Yeah, a constant aggressive momentum, just wonderful use of specials as well. You saw how they were able to use multiple specials at the same time to really isolate them. You saw it with the combination of the stamp and the tri-strikes, and you saw it there. The killer whale was so huge in that late push because it all just focused on a single lane where most of the Proto's Glorious Kings players were just in the area, and although not all of them died to it, some of them obviously took massive damage, and that was huge for them to really close things out. But we are in 5 games sets for a reason, so things could change in a matter of a quick 2 minutes if these games can really just flip the switch if Proto's Glorious Kings can figure out what went wrong.
No, definitely. Monsoon may have won game 1, they may have won this battle, but will they win the rest of this war as we go into Crableg Capital? I can definitely say that Monsoon's comp that was shown in that ship-shaped game can also be really good in a Rainmaker match.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just the constant pressure that now can't be limited by just playing in the mid there. It can be now pushed to its fullest extent. Sticking with that same comp is Monsoon on the other side, still sticking with their guns. No changes here. Just run it back in crab leg. Crab leg. Yes, on Rainmaker here. As actually, Monsoon will get the first pop onto the Rainmaker, but no one dares touches it because it is a no man's land there to touch it, and you will be splatted here. Storm will pop that Zuka to try to find a pick, but instead gets picked themselves. Cooler is online for Proto's Glorious Kings, and with 2 players down, they are potentially trying to take the advantage here, and just like that, they are near the first checkpoint, and they will almost get it for us.
But it looks like Miner's already picked up 2 picks on their own, 3 down. The rest of Monsoon is making their way towards another checkpoint here. That was immediately taken back here. The strikes have already come out for Monsoon as well. Nico going down. Lead already being taken by Monsoon. It's deadly close right now.
Yeah, and Monsoon able to get the checkpoint pop, but not a big lead at all, because the first checkpoint on this map is usually a gentleman's agreement to get. Usually you win 1 or 2 team fights and it's really easy to get, but really getting past that dead man's land, either the jump on the left or the grates on the right, it is a tough choice indeed. But Monsoon will potentially look to try to extend that lead as Stamp is available for them. The Zuka being popped by Proto here, trying to find an evening pick. Will not find the fight and actually get stabbed in the back by that Wiper, and now Monsoon will try to pass this unpassable bridge.
Doesn't look like that's the case though. Proto immediately claps back with a wipeout here, immediately negating their push. CJ Spookums has popped the Rainmaker, but no one has picked up the Rainmaker so far, as Proto's Glorious Kings is looking to divert more map control for their team here. It's a gal off here by the looks of things. Storm taking the victory in that. Miner has strikes ready as well. That could potentially be game-changing in getting this no man's land declared for Monsoon. Here comes the strikes now. Can they get any more space? Can they get any more picks? None so far. Nico has Stamp ready to roll as well. Here it comes. Hammer time. Colliding with that uninkable thing as well.
Yeah, just getting stuck on that. Nico will fall to the pencil. The pencil has been on point for Proto's Glorious Kings. They have been able to really shut down Nico on that. But Shiny taking it up for Monsoon, trying to help Storm out a little bit. Storm goes down, but they will take out goodbye as Shiny just trying to dance and fend for their lives. But the combination of the Zuka and the Whale will force them to go down. And now the Rainmaker is in a really good spot for Proto, but they are being patient with it. They don't want to rush into things. They need to find an advantage here and potentially actually get the checkpoint on this right side here if they can sneak up to it a little bit, and they will just get it right there, tempting us a little bit and tempting fate a little bit.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a really tricky situation to deal with that pencil dodging shots left and right. CJ Spookums has picked up the Rainmaker once more. They're looking to take lead here. That is all they needed here, even if they went down to the gal or to the bucket. They're going to flush out the rest of Proto's Glorious Kings here, potentially getting the pop in their favor. But goodbyes. They're holding that shark down. They're holding the fort. Could they potentially get any picks? They get Nico. That's a really, really solid exit pick here. Shiny picks up the Rainmaker now. And Monsoon get their lead back. Can those win streak keep going for Monsoon?
Yeah, the pressure is definitely now on Monsoon. We saw how their first attempt at trying to get past those grates ended in a very, very just a stone wall they ran into, a quick knockout, but maybe some specials could change things. But with 2 players down, Monsoon will actually lose the Rainmaker in that scrum. Proto's Glorious Kings have been very strong at this point of the map here for us. They have held such a strong defense that really, once Monsoon were able to get up to the advantage, they were up to the little grates up there, really going no further.
Not to mention, Proto's Glorious Kings have every special at their disposal. They popped it all at once. It's a special up here. 3 down for Monsoon. This is looking to be a wipeout if Storm doesn't get out of the way soon. Storm's holding their ground. They get 3 by the looks of things. Storm immediately clapping back, almost securing a wipe. This could potentially be a 4-piece. And Monsoon could potentially get this lead back. Pressure is once again back on Storm and the rest of Monsoon as they begin their push back on the same grade where every push has happened so far.
Yeah, and it needs to happen soon here, though. With 25 seconds left, 2 specials are available. They need to hop onto this. 20 seconds left. One mistake could end things and end the winning streak here for Monsoon if they're not careful here.
Oh, but Proto's Glorious King immediately clap back with everything they have, with the Tri-Strike, with the Zuka, with the Whale. Storm goes down. There's sub 5 seconds left here. Proto's Glorious King immediately pop it. Nico immediately gets shut down. Proto's Glorious King secure game 2. The war rages on.
Yeah, GG's, and just like that, the winning streak is over, but the set isn't over. But like I mentioned at the end of that game 1 here, Frost, things in the set can change, and with an equally evening punch, we saw how well they were able to defend. Like, they weren't the first ones to get the checkpoint pop, sure, but they fought back, got the lead, and never looked back. Proto's Glorious Kings look to continue that success on Clam Blitz Umami Ruins.
Clam Blitz Umami Ruins with that immensely intimidating blue temple in the background. Why is everything turning blue right now?
Yeah, and what a map too. Normally you see zones on this, but we see Clam Blitz, and I think this is gonna be the true test of how these comps will play out. You see how Monsoon plays very, very aggressive, very in your face, but we've also seen on the other side how Protos have been able to play smart, been able to use their specials well, have been able to take calculated risks and just hold firm, bend but don't break defense. So I feel like the set so far might be an immovable object versus an unstoppable force here, as we see who will take the 2-1 advantage here shortly.
Exactly. It does look like we're probably going into game 4 here, potentially going into that Mahi Mahi Zones game 5. It's always pushback, not only within the actual games, but in the set itself. Both teams can apply equally as much pressure as much as they can deflect the pressure.
Yeah, indeed, and definitely to keep your eyes on the pencil v pencil. Obviously, the key to breaking a team's defense or breaking a push is taking out the backbone of the team, and that is these 2 pencils. Still the same comp for both sides. It seems like they are just rolling with the punches. They know what works, what doesn't. It is just up to their own mechanical skill, and they are going straight into it. Really, the only changes or differences really between both the teams is either sticking with the shot or sticking with that wiper. So we are just seeing a very evenly played set. I'm assuming going to be fully played as well. Like you mentioned earlier, definitely looking to see a game 5 if possible.
Yeah, definitely here. It looks like Monsoon almost has a super clam in their presence, but I immediately back that out. Proto's Glorious Kings are immediately showing up to Monsoon's net. CJ Spookum is breaking their barrier. Storm has a clam of their own. They're gonna have to duel off with Goodbye's bucket here. They're ducking in and out of that box, taking down CJ Spookums. Storm has the clam of their possession now, taking down Goodbye. They're dodging lasers, they're dodging shots. Not dodging enough though to outrun that gal. Pressure is still on Monsoon's front doorstep. They have 2 power clams in their possession. They can immediately take this lead back, potentially, if this gal isn't dealt with soon, and the gal gets away though.
Yeah, this is why it is really dangerous if you don't get 60, at least up to 60 points remaining left if you are the first team to pop the goal, because really the ability for the other team to snowball and punch right back is huge, because just like that, look at it, 3 players are down for Proto's Glorious Kings, and the jump is already there with the ball. Remember, the pity clam is still sitting back, the lead is already taken, and you saw the jump back to that. If Monsoon could continue this hold just a little bit and provide that jump, there's the jump right there from Shiny, and just like that is down to 18 points. You can see how fast the counterattack can come. Nico trying to extend this a little bit, the cooler thrown into no man's land. 2 players are down for Monsoon, so that will be the end of that push. But this is the danger of striking first and not being able to hold back Monsoon. Just an endless swarm.
Exactly, they suffer the wrath of the Storm here as they immediately go into 18 with 41 pity points left. A power climb is now in possession of Monsoon. Soda Buff is in their possession as well here. They're taking down Miner. Can they get a second? Can they get Storm? Can they get Nico? By the looks of things, no. Nico's actually pushing up here with that torpedo here. They're under Soda Buff. A second torpedo comes out here. Proto's got to lock in here to potentially take down 2. Here comes that stamp here. Proto's in a really rough situation. They need to run. Proto's going down. Can Nico get a second here? Raids with goodbye. That's a really deadly thing that you need to watch out for Wiper if you're jumping.
Yeah, one final goodbye send-off, but now Shiny does have a ball available for Monsoon. One player down for each side. It is still in Monsoon's favor, not only because of the sizable lead, but of the control of the map. Another player will fall for Proto's Glorious Kings. Both pencils carrying the ball, carrying the fate of their teams in their hands here, but Nico trying to get something going here, trying to pick up some clams, just waiting for an opportunity to strike, because Monsoon just seems like they are pretty content in holding mid here, not trying to trying not to push the issue a little bit. Well, we see Proto's Glorious Kings taking down 2 members, Keeley getting rid of that ball as well, so now an opportunity may open up for them to strike back, because remember, they do have a ball and plenty of clams to their name.
Not only a ball, but 2 actually, as the Gala has been running errands, not only getting picks, but getting more clams here. 2 super clams are in the possession of Proto's Glorious Kings. The whale comes out, the strikes come out. Monsoon is retreating back into their spawn. The first power clam goes in, the second, it's 47. Does Proto's Glorious Kings have enough clams to get this lead back? It doesn't look like that's the case, as the rest of Proto's Glorious Kings are jumping back into spawn. Monsoon is immediately going to respond by taking back mid. Storm and the rest of the team are on the scene. They're already pushed up towards the basket already, having more control than they already have in the last couple seconds.
The fast-paced counterattack ability of Monsoon is shown to its fullest here. A minute left. Monsoon really doesn't have to force the issue here, but they need to make sure they can't make any mistakes. But Nico continuing to go in, will find a 2-for-1 trade there, and it's just left to the pencil. And it seems like Monsoon is just going straight for the kill here. Storm will be able to get the pop onto the barrier, and they have plenty of clams. Shiny will throw a couple of clams in, but will they have enough clams to get out of that penalty, or will they just have to get out of there? It seems like they are perfectly content at least forcing the issue a little bit and giving Proto's Glorious King a little bit of a scare. But now, off of that push, Proto's Glorious Kings will have a pity clam available for them for this overtime push.
It is truly dependent on how fast Proto and the rest of his Glorious Kings can accumulate enough clams to break past that 23 pity barrier, as well as get into the lead here to get into the 10s. We only have 1 power clam that is held by the pencil, held by CJ Spookums. They're throwing down the soda. It's go time now here. By the looks of things, they're going to move past the big rectangle here. Can they potentially get Nico? They will. The bucket takes down Nico, but the whale comes out on the side of Monsoon here. This is truly dependent on how long CJ Spookums can hold this power clam. They're being chased down by Storm. Storm goes down though. The Gal is taken down by Miner, and it's a wipeout as Monsoon takes game 2.
That game was decided from Monsoon's first push. They were pushed initially first by that 71 point push, down to 71 point push from Proto's Glorious Kings, but the counterattack came, and it was an onslaught. It was straight 100-18, and they never looked back on that moment. They played smart, they played keep away, they made sure they didn't make any unforced errors, and now they could potentially go for the 3-1 set win here on Tower Control Inkblood Art Academy.
Whenever I see this game in a tournament, I always love using my Sisyphus analogy. You need to make it up that dreaded staircase, that Sisyphus zone that I like to call it. You need to make sure you can get past that in order if you want to secure a game on TC Inkblot, because that bats area that an enemy team has as soon as you're pushing up is deadly. That can immediately catch you off guard. I just love making references to Sisyphus with this map, man. You have no idea.
Yeah, 100%. But so far, both teams have really stuck with their guns, stuck with their strats, and I kind of want to poke your brain a little bit, Frost. What do you think would be your preference here? Would you rather have the team that runs the shot, or would you rather have a Splatana here? Because we've already seen both teams like to run the bucket, the pencil, and the gal.
Okay, as someone that plays a lot of V-Wiper myself, I know for sure that especially Wiper can dodge around a lot of the towers here on Inkblot, as well as the moving tower itself. But if I'm being honest, I'm not sure if that stamp can provide as much utility as a Zuka could if you run a shot. That's my humble opinion, though.
Yeah, I mean, that stamp we have seen come out and show in great moments, but like you mentioned, this is not exactly where it shined, but who knows, that Wiper can prove us wrong here. We have seen crazier things before, and a little bit of maybe some summoning of this. Maybe we could see a slight comp change because neither team has really changed it, but now with the set being 2-1 in favor of Monsoon, maybe Proto's Glorious Kings does something tricky here. We see Proto actually switching to the Neo shot splash. I mean, with those tri-strikes, the GG strikes, and also the custom blaster, very interesting indeed. They are putting all their cards on their table, and now it is do or die time for them.
Custom Blaster has immediately gone down, though, as well as Storm on Gal. It's a 3v3 here, as it's a war to get control of mid first before getting the tower, and it looks like Monsoon has the tower first here. The strikes come out from Proto's Glorious Caves, immediately shutting down that push. Shiny trying to make sure the rest of mid is in favor of Monsoon here. The Gal has gone down, and it's still anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, I like the pick of the blaster here. Obviously, tower control plus blaster equals synergy. Blaster player, I might be a blaster main and biased as heck, but hey, I have to give my blaster players appreciation somewhere. But Proto Glorious Kings already are near the first checkpoint and almost close to capping it. Cooler on their backs as well, so this could provide them with an early advantage and push here. And they will just barely get past that first checkpoint. That is huge. Although not being able to push it much further, that is at least good progress for them.
So the boulder rolls back down for Proto's Glorious Kings. Monsoon is now moving forward. Shiny's potentially going to get some vantage here. Will they get shut down by Goodbye with that Custom Blaster? But Custom Blaster, Goodbye immediately gets taken down by Nico here with that Wiper mobility. Stamp is ready here. They could potentially move forward onto Bats. Assisted by Miner here. They're on that dreaded Sisyphus staircase. The strikes come out from Miner. Will Nico push forward with that stamp? Looks like that's the case. It's time to go, but then Nico's immediately shut down by the coming of Proto strikes. Monsoon takes the lead here.
Yeah, in the blink of an eye, just like that, the lead is taken by Monsoon. The tri-strike's just there to stall a little bit, but now already at the second checkpoint, Nico and the other members of Monsoon are making sure this ball keeps rolling and this boulder keep rolling. Shiny is that backline on the tower, just trying to provide jumps for their team and providing at least some leeway for Monsoon to fall back to at least mid, not try to force them all the way back to their own spawn, but at least give them a little bit of a breather to try to get that push going again, because we are almost at halfway mark. But that was a really good push there to take out 2 checkpoints for Monsoon.
Exactly. Nico is immediately going down first. Goodbye is going down next to Storm. Proto's in the sights of both Miner and Storm here as Monsoon gets tower once again. Looks like Shiny just got taken down by a spray. Looks like to be a splash or even the range, the custom blaster. Nico has immediately gone down to the Gal. The whale is ready to go. It's targeting Storm here as Storm is riding tower. Storm is in a lot of dangerous predicaments right now. So is Proto's Glorious King's Gal. Shiny goes down to CJ Spookums here. Nico taking down CJ Spookums as well. That stamp is almost ready to rip here. Proto also goes down to Miner. Monsoon has immediately taken back towers. The push continues. Oh, as Proto's Glorious King's push has stopped, actually.
Yeah, 2 specials are available for Monsoon. A wonderful defense from them just to be able to stop that in the water. This Gal, though, being a tricky player, will go down, at least diverting a little bit of attention away from the remaining members of Proto's Glorious Kings. The tri-strikes go out. The cooler is available from Miner, just trying to get this pick on the left side here, trying to isolate these fights, trying to win them. That will force the jump out, but tri-strikes are such a powerful tool on Rainmaker, especially because not only can you use them offensively, you can use them in such a defensive manner. Nico is making their presence known with this stamp, trying to force that backline player back and provide the space that Monsoon needs to continue to extend their lead.
Looks like there's only 2 people defending, but maybe 2 people is all they need. Proto taking down Nico. That's 3 players down for Monsoon. Proto is immediately going to take back mid, especially with the amount of paint that Neo Splash schematic can provide. Strikes are also ready from Proto's Glorious Kings. The Soda has been activated. The Gal is positioned up. The lasers are locked onto Miner. The Gal's potentially going to make a push onto Bats, and here it is. Here's that wall. Can they take down Storm? It's a wall off by the looks of things. The Gal's going to jump back. Nico goes down to Proto. Proto's Glorious Kings have made their boulder roll up the hill. This is looking to be close. It's 40-55 as 30 seconds remain on the clock. It's 2 down. And it's looking like the lead is taken by Proto's Glorious Kings. This is looking like Game 5 Rocket, but there on Monsoon is immediately back on the scene. Nico's flushing the others out, so is Storm. That's 2 down. Nico has Stamp. This is close.
It is close indeed. Don't yet count out Monsoon. I have seen crazier things happen. The 1-for-1 trade will be had by the Stamp. 5 seconds left before overtime. 2 specials are available, but Keeley, the GG strikes, are available for Proto's Glorious Kings. There they are, and there's the flank with the custom blaster. That is all they needed to even things up 2-2. And what do you know? Game number 5, Mahi Mahi zones will await us here. And Frost, we are here for 5 game sets. Let's go.
5 game sets. The rest of Proto's Glorious Kings are waving them out. We go to game 5. This is sudden death. Do or die. Last stand. 2-2.
Yeah, it is all on the line here. We've known how these teams played for 4 games. They've stuck with similar comps. A little bit of a surprise there from Proto's Glorious Kings to bring out some new weapons we have not seen before. Let's see if they stick with those weapons or maybe just surprise us again, because on a map such as Mahi Mahi, it just breathes unpredictability, because not only does the map expand around the 60-point mark and maybe provide some more sneaky techniques, but also the ability of, if we see that wiper again, this is a pretty flat map, so you know that it could cause so much havoc here for us.
Oh yeah, no, especially with the amount of special usage that come from both teams, the usage of strikes, the usage of Zuka, even the use of Killer Whale 5.1. It's insane.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if I saw at least 3 or 4 tri-strike weapons here, if I'm being honest. Maybe more predictably, probably I'll be generous. Only 3 and then a Zuka to add to the chaos, but I feel like the special usage is going to be really huge here. We might see the use of Bubble perhaps to maybe counteract that, but that is up for speculation, because the pencils for both teams have been on point though. Wouldn't you say, for us?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Both CJ Spookums as well as Shiny, right? Shiny's the Monsoon's pencil player. Both of them are really good at holding ground. I think one thing I really liked that came out of I'm pretty sure Shiny back on Inkblot was when that push died down, they immediately pushed back towards their side of spawn. They didn't fully commit, they went further back, playing it extremely safe here. That's a really smart play to move. That's just a really smart play in my opinion.
Indeed, and tournament on the line. If you wanted to take a quick side away, just looking at our other semifinals, my little Henlo and Wyzari Stankin are 1-1. So seems like both of these semis have been pretty even as of late, and our finals will await us, whoever is the victor of this last game. It is all on the line. These teams are for sure definitely starting to feel a little bit of fatigue, a little bit, because of how long this set has gone on for, but also a little surprising, I'm sure, for both teams. I'm sure they weren't expecting to lose to both, because remember, Monsoon was undefeated coming into this and Proto only lost 1 game. But enough speculation. Let's see what they bring. We see a double shot lineup coming from Monsoon, and on the other side, Monsoon in the green, apologies, and Proto Glorious Kings in the pink. Proto's Glorious Kings having that double shot plus custom blaster, a very aggressive comp indeed. On the other side, you do see that tri-strike coming from the bucket. I was surprised, honestly, to see not that much tri-strike, but we do see that wiper stamp, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, exactly. Zuka can still be very game-changing for both Monsoon and Proto's Glorious King. Storm has once again taken control of the zone here. They'll quickly take the lead here, 92, 91, going into the 80s. Goodbye taking down Nico here. Proto's jumping back to safety here. They enter the grate. They're popping Zuka here. They could potentially drive out the rest of Monsoon further here. Nico's within their crosshairs. Not soon enough here. Oh no! By the looks of things, Proto's doing the 1v3 goes down. Nico has Stamp. They're gonna flush out the rest of. No, they're not. Not bad, Nico. Get shut down by Goodbye. Goodbye getting taken down by looks to be the bucket here.
These players and teams have awakened here. There is no situation they can't get out of, but so far Monsoon off to an early lead. One player down, the Gal now respawning, so Proto's Glorious Kings is waiting, but no, Miner is making sure that doesn't happen. But Keeley, now the entire map will be unlocked. 2 players are down for Proto's Glorious Kings. Zuka is available for Proto. Let's see if they use it here. They will use it. That wall will block the first shot, won't block the second. Nico will go down. The third won't find the mark, but that job is done. Proto's Glorious Kings will again lose 2 members, though. Miner just keeping Proto isolated. Keeley takes that pick. 3 players are down to the 20-point mark. This could be huge for us.
No, this is gonna be really close for Proto's Glorious Kings. They need to act now. It's 10 ticks left. Miner, here comes the splashdown from Goodbye. That could potentially be all they need, but no. Miner coming in with the strikes. 3, 2, 1. Taken down. Monsoon takes set and moves to finals. That was a blitzkrieg. I don't know.
The quickest map in this entire set. Monsoon showing us why they were undefeated before going into this. They lost those 2 maps and said, you know what? We are done playing around. We are done messing around. We will show you the true power of our team. And yeah, that was it unleashed there too. It's pure fury. Monsoon will punch their ticket to finals. Proto's Glorious Kings will move to our 3rd place matchup. That was a shocker there. That was so fast.
I mean, we were, by the way, the entire set was a tug of war. From Monsoon's immediate first win on Shipshape to Proto's Glorious King's decisive win on Crableg to another win for Monsoon on Umami, and then Proto's Glorious Kings to immense win on Inkblot. Monsoon immediately clapped back. They said, we're bringing the storm. They just ended within a single push by the looks of things.
Yeah, GG's from them. Monsoon will face either My Little Henlo, our number 1 seed, or Why It's Already Stankin', who we saw earlier in quarters. But that match is still going on and still going strong. So we are going to be taking a very short break. So don't go anywhere. Special edition of Swimmer's Sink, Spook or Scream, will be right back here shortly.
Hey, Swimmer Sync, aka Spook or Scream, Frostix and Rocket here. Where are your fingers? Well, if you're playing in the tournament, get on those controllers, but if you're in chat, get on those keyboards to support the Grimm finals. My Little Henlo, consisting of Mocha, Kiki, Harshi, and Henlo, facing off against Monsoon, consisting of Miner, Storm, Niso, Shiny, and Silver. Rocket, once again, this is the finals.
Yeah, and these players need no introductions at all. That powerhouse that My Little Henlo has, Mocha, Kiki, Harshi, and Henlo, the #1 seed for a reason. They actually went to 5 games against Stankin, managing to finally close it out. And those 2 matches those 2 rounds that they dropped in there, those were the only 2 losses in this entire tournament for them. So they have been through a tear of their own up until that point. Monsoon, you obviously saw, also went to game 5 as well. So both these teams have a similar story, both being undefeated up until the semifinals, winning a very close semifinals, and now here they meet. And game #1, quite a treat that waits us. Hagglefish Market Zones, always a classic, would you say, for us?
Oh boy, do I have anything to say about Hagglefish. That's definitely something really good to start off to open this set of the final here. Lots of skill expression to be had here with those lanes to flank, with also the backline that can be held. That tent, god damn that tent, man.
Yeah, for sure. And a little bit of a aside, with this new HUD with Sendu, you're able to see the leaderboard right on the home screen, and guess who's looking at the very top of that leaderboard? #1 player according to Sendu is Harshi. So that just goes to show how powerful My Little Henlo is. But Monsoon, definitely not a pushover of their own. We saw how well and how fast they just ended things in their previous semifinals against Proto Glorious Kings in what seemed to be a very close set, and then at that last point they just really locked in and kept it rolling. But enough talk, we are moving to game #1 here. Let's see what both these teams bring for us.
We're seeing Range Blaster, Wiper, and Splash from My Little Henlo, and we're seeing that signature Wiper and Bucket comp from Monsoon that we saw earlier. We're going into zones now. The pencils are making their way, trying to get some ink for their team to get a cooler going on, as well as it's looking like Monsoon is getting a lot of ink here first, but the strikes immediately come up from My Little Henlo. Soda has been taken by Monsoon. They're hydrated. Storm's moving up the lanes here. They take down Henlo first. Looking like zone could potentially capture them.
Yeah, on that Range Blaster too, very interesting choice, but a great choice on such a very condensed zone such as that Hagglefish Market has. But Henlo has that stamp available for them. The tri-strikes are going out, but Nico has a stamp of their own, trying to contest that right side. Won't be able to make it up. Will find one with that throw, actually. A second goes down. Harshi will go down. Henlo has the stamp just to try to stall things out a little bit, but a quick response from Monsoon, and with the lead take as well. They mean business.
No, yeah, Miner's shutting down. It's either Henlo or it's Kiki here. Nico's on that ledge, but immediately gets jumped out by that Range Blaster here. Storm is in a really tricky situation here. They need to get rid of those strikes or they go down to the pencil. They're flushing out the rest of Monsoon here. They look to have zone here. Kiki takes zone for the rest of My Little Henlo. They're moving forward immediately up those stairs. My Little Henlo and their Wiper is already up here. They're at 81. They could potentially get past the 55 point and get this lead.
Yeah, I believe My Little Henlo is Harshi, and this is Henlo right here on the Wiper. Okay. And you see here, Henlo trying to get a pick with it, will not be as such. Storm shutting that down, but Monsoon will maintain the very, very slim lead as they were able to hold on to that zone for dear life, but there's still plenty of game to be played here. 3 minutes left. Kiki does have the tri-strikes available for them. The cooler on the backs of My Little Henlo as well to try to turn this around, but Monsoon are not breaking quite yet. But of course, as soon as I say that, they all fall like dominoes, and the lead is still remaining firm. A little bit of points scored, but the penalty applied. My Little Henlo now with their turn to defend.
Equal penalty zones here, but My Little Henlo is of course going down swiftly. Harshi's trying to Yeah, that is Harshy. Yeah, Harshy's just trying to cover more zones here. The Soda's already up here. Henlo has the stamp ready as well. The strikes are coming out from Miner here. The lead has been lost by the looks of things. Henlo has lead here even by 2. This is a very big back and forth, a tug of war. Shiny has all 3 members of Monsoon jumping to that tent here. They're immediately going to get flushed out further by the strikes coming out from Harshy by the looks of things. Henlo has a stamp now. They're throwing a takedown. Miner! Nico's immediately responding with their own stamp, but gets shut down. Henlo has Shiny in their sights, potentially Storm in their sights. They're dodging lasers here. Zone is still in possession of my little Henlo. They're going into the 30s now with 2 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, Henlo managing to knock it down and continue to move it down. Nico will find the pick onto Henlo. Has stamp available. 2 players are down for My Little Henlo, but the zone is still in the favor of My Little Henlo. Finally taken by Monsoon. Nico now trying to go on this left flank, trying to create some space, trying to be that distraction to allow their team to go in with a throw as well. Won't find its mark, but the job is done. Cooler on the back of Monsoon to try to hold this as they exit their penalty points and now try to take this lead back.
Monsoon is out of their penalty points. They're going into the 30s now. Shiny's establishing more position with that pencil. Miner's covering up more space with that bucket. Henlo is now in their sights as Miner's pushing back towards the side lanes here. Strikes are almost ready. They could potentially get this back from Monsoon. They take down Kiki. Strikes are ready now. They can take down this. They can take back the zone immediately as long as the rest of the team can follow up here. Zone is now no one's right now. Henlo now has Soda buff here. I think that's Mocha with that blaster there having the Soda buff. Zone is still in their possession. The strikes come out from Monsoon. The rest of My Little Henlo is pushing back. Nico with the hammer.
Yeah, and continuing to keep on the pressure as well. Monsoon will maintain zone control, but maybe not for long. If these strikes hit well, they will contest it a little bit, but no, Monsoon still holds firm here late. 1 player down for Henlo. It is an all-out scrum here. Cooler is available for them to try to get in a second push to try to take this back, but Monsoon are still holding firm, still managing to take back. Finally, the zone does fall, but 20 seconds left. Monsoon need to get this counterattack in fast.
Oh, exactly. 10 seconds are left. Storm taking down Henlo by the looks of things. Zone could potentially be for Monsoon here. They have 29. This could potentially go into overtime. Stamps are getting shut down. Storm is the only one left on site as the strikes come in from My Little Henlo. That could just be the GG strikes they need. But Monsoon has a GG strike series of their own. This is going to go deep into overtime as Monsoon is closing out of their penalty zone. This is do or die for Monsoon here. The sprinkler is providing more support here. Miner's going to go down to the rest of My Little Henlo here. My Little Henlo's pushing in. They lose control. Not enough effort in from Monsoon to get this game won as My Little Henlo heads K1.
The final hurrah, managing to take down 1, 2, and 3 members of Monsoon there late, and after that happens, the floodgates are open, and just like that, up 1-0 in our finals, and this is going to be a very, very tightly contested game and set for sure if that game had anything to say about it. But moving on to game number 2, Rainmaker Undertow Spillway. Any thoughts on this map mode, Frost?
Is it me or is it darker with the filter?
Yeah, you can't even see the goal on the... You can't even see where the players spawn, but yeah, it adds to the little spooky aesthetic, if you will.
Yeah, it suits it. Not only that, Scorch Gorge is blue again.
Ooh.
Everything's blue.
Yeah, looking like from a completely different planet.
Yeah, it looks like something out of a Dr. Seuss book, if you ask me. Back to Undertow, though. It's a Rainmaker. It always depends on which way you go. Will you go straight forward into... We go, it's right side, right? The right side has an easier pedestal to smack down on, but if you go onto the left side, the slightly longer way, that will cruise you easily into the second checkpoint, which will allow you to finish the game faster. It truly just depends on how quickly you can execute a push like that.
Yeah, the first checkpoint on Undertow Spillway is always really easy to get. I feel like I say that a lot about a lot of Rainmaker maps. Usually the first checkpoint is the easy one, but especially on Undertow Spillway, the goal on the left side is such a hard choke point to go through. I mean, you're talking about trying to push through against such a height disadvantage. You're basically trying to push up a hill there, and obviously when you have a pencil or these other weapons looming down you, it is just rough to get up there, especially if you don't have any specials to open them up.
Exactly. As game 2 begins in Grimm Finals, Undertow Rainmaker here. Will My Little Henlo continue their win streak? Can Monsoon clap back like we've seen them do? It all happens here. We see an end zap and we see a bow coming out from Monsoon. The changeup is happening.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time in a while we've seen Monsoon actually change their comp. They're going with a very, very interesting lineup indeed. You have that NZAP for the cooler, but not only that, Shiny with the switch up onto the bow, also very curious. But actually, 3 players are down for Henlo. This change in comp seems to be working already as they smash down the first goal and are continuing to try to extend this lead even further. Maybe even go for a minute knockout here, but no, the specials are there. Henlo with the stamp, the Zuka there as well. That was looking very dangerous, but still, Monsoon, within the matter of 45 seconds, are down to 17 points for us.
Yeah, Monsoon has been seen here to clap back after a loss. 17 points already in the first 45 seconds is deadly news. I think the unpredictability that the new comp with the NZAP with that Wellstring can provide a lot of new opportunities for the rest of Monsoon. Will it keep this up? Whoa, Storm immediately goes down. That's a wipeout to Kiki Zuka. Insane. Harshy has the Rainmaker. The rest of My Little Henlo are pushing up towards the left side here. They need to establish their presence and stand on business here. Make sure they don't crumble under the pressure that Monsoon can provide with that Tri-Strike, with that Wellstring, with that Wiper. Here comes the Splashdown. Looking to get 2 targets. They're still pushing forward here. The NZAP going down, but not without taking the Rainmaker here. The Rainmaker is on Monsoon's doorstep. They're pushing forward with that stamp. 7! They
just like that, My Little Henlo clapping right back, and they are knocking at the doorsteps here. Harshy will not be able to hop onto that goal, but they are still here. 3 players are down for Monsoon. It is a wipeout. It is a bloodbath, and just like that, 2-0. My Little Henlo. Holy crap.
Maybe I'm mistaken about Monsoon's ability to clap back. Will it compare to My Little Henlo's ability to stand on business?
What do you want to mention that My Little Henlo did well? Do you want to mention how Kiki started that push off with, I believe, an entire team wipe just off of 2 Zuka shots? Do you want to talk about the constant momentum that they built near what seems to be the hardest part of the map, or their constant ability to keep away, keep Monsoon just delayed, dazed, and confused, and Frost? We are looking at already a potential sweep here in finals.
It all just depends on if My Little Henlo can triumph in the weird blue Scorch Gorge, man. Why is it blue? Why are you blue? But also, one thing that I really liked from My Little Henlo was in that final push. I'm pretty sure Henlo popped out that stamp as the rest of their team pushed forward, being protected by the stamp's immediate presence. You don't want to be next to a stamp when it's rolling, and especially when someone is with a Rainmaker is rolling with the stamp. That allowed them a really safe passage into the final checkpoint.
Yeah, it looks like Monsoon really went off to an early lead there in a very tough hill to climb if you were My Little Henlo, but My Little Henlo just said, screw that. Kiwi said, screw that, let me show you what I'm made of, managing to find 4 with the Zuka, and I have never seen that before, a quadruple off of just 2 shots. I believe when we were expecting them initially, you saw both those players fall, and then once we got to Kiki, they just completely rolled through that. But oh my goodness, let's see if they can continue this. Game number 3, tournament on the line if you are Monsoon. A tough hill to climb, 1 step at a time, 1 game at a time. They will go back with their regular comp and My Little Henlo with no changes.
And now we arrive on the totally not blue Scorch Gorge here. This is Clam Blitz. Like we said earlier, it's really imperative that you get past the 70 point on what's it called, on Clan Blitz, lest you face what happened to the team that was facing Monsoon earlier. You don't want to get immediately clapped back. That's a Wiper off looking against Henlo versus Nico. Nico, they go down. It's 2 players down on Monsoon. Storm taking down Mocha by the looks of things. They take down Henlo as well. He keeps dodging everyone's shots, but then finally goes down to Nico by the looks of things. Storm is back on the scene. It's anyone's game.
It is a bloodbath there in mid, but Monsoon will come out on top. They will need to get a good push in because remember, the rule of Clan Blitz, if you don't get it to at least 60, the counterattack ability of Clan Blitz specifically is so dangerous. Miner has a ball for them, and they will be able to pop it, but their follow-up needs to be good here. Storm has the clams for Monsoon. They are going in near the 65-point mark. The stamp coming in to dissuade Shiny from moving in, but they will eventually make their way, managing to find a couple of clams in there. Will knock it down to the 56-point mark, but they are continuing to move in. Storm will find a nice double before taking themselves out of there, but still down to the 50 point now. Monsoon with a solid push, but things can change so fast in Clan Blitz.
That was a very effective push from the side of Monsoon. They know what they're doing, especially on Clan Blitz here. Archie drops down the cooler now. It's time for My Little Henlo to act. They're looking to have 2 power clams potentially in their possession. Kiki has that deadly Zuka in their possession. Can they get any more multi-picks with it? Looks like Henlo's coming with a stamp. They already have 2 players down on Monsoon here. Here comes a throw. No target so far. Kiki has 6 clams here. They could potentially get the super here. They do. They throw it back to their backline. And now they're on Monsoon's doorstep. It's 2 players down here. It takes care of Storm. Here comes Nico, though, trying to get the push over. Barrier is broken now. It's all up to My Little Henlo to make sure they can get past the 50. They're at 62.
Yeah, but the same follow-up might not be there. No, Henlo will actually be jumping in and actually taking it. The jump will be good, and there will be the lead taken by My Little Henlo. Half the game remaining, but if you are Monsoon, you need to get back into this and change things fast, because now you have the pity clam available. You still have plenty of time to play with. You have cooler now. A quick little double from Miner. Hello, a really nice placed bomb, I believe, takes out 2 and shuts down that cooler that would have been popped for My Little Henlo. Now an opportunity presents itself as Monsoon have opened the floodgates.
Exactly, but Storm has that power clam, but immediately gets shut down by Henlo. It doesn't look like this push is going to go far here. That was a really positive, like, that push was definitely possible. Gets immediately shut down by the rest of My Little Henlo, though.
Yeah, the Zuka has been on point for Kiki, but not finding the value there, at least because of the dodges that Monsoon have. They have been just trying to make sure the repeat of last game doesn't happen, but the floodgates are open yet again for My Little Henlo. They will get the score in, but will there be any follow-up? They quick trade there from Kiki, but the jump will be had, actually not able to get in, just short, so close to it. They even had the cooler jump speed there as well, but just not close enough.
And it looks like Monsoon is ready to act fast. They have 2 power clams in possession. Nico's popping the hammer here. They're going to cause a lot of ruckus for the rest of My Little Henlo. Lead has been taken by Monsoon. They now have the manners to get into game 4. They can potentially go to game 5 and win the rest of the set as 1 minute is left on the clock. Can My Little Henlo still stand on business as they are known to do? Miner almost has a tri-strike ready as well, by the looks of things here. 46 seconds left on the clock here.
It is do or die time now if My Little Henlo wants any hope of sweeping this. The Kiki does have Zuka, and actually 3 specials are online for My Little Henlo, so this could prove huge. The splashdown will find 1. The Zuka being popped as well to cause a little bit of a disruption will cause the pencil to hide away, and there's the 3rd pencil. Will find 1 from that. 2 players are down for Monsoon, but the goal not yet scored. The ball is heading its way towards Monsoon's goal. 15 seconds left. Monsoon just need to get 1 final strong defense, and it looks like they're doing it.
Yeah, it's 16:31. Monsoon is in the lead with 5 seconds left. My Little Henlo has 2 power clams in their possession now. This is their last push in overtime, and Monsoon needs to provide an extremely solid defense if they want to keep staying in this final game, in this final set here. Harshy and the other member of My Little Henlo gets shut down, and it looks like this overtime is coming to a close. Rocket.
Yeah, and just like that, Monsoon remains afloat, will take game 3. It is not over yet if you are a fan of Monsoon or a player on Monsoon, but the hill is not done yet either. You still have to win game 4 if you want to have a chance at going for a game 5, because remember, you are still at a disadvantage. My Little Henlo still have this game to lose if they so wish, but obviously they wouldn't let that happen. But still, no more mistakes can be made. Monsoon needs to have another solid game like that, because they really showed up in the clutch there. My Little Henlo had enough clams. They had 2 balls. They had enough to end things and take the lead there late, but Monsoon with a solid defense there prevented any of that from happening.
Exactly. Monsoon's defense, their ability to stand their ground against My Little Henlo's immense pressure. Once they get the ball rolling, I'm not sure if they can be stopped here. We're going to Tower Control Mako Mart next. You've seen this before already. I'm not sure if it was played by either Monsoon. We never really casted a My Little Henlo match before, but it really just... This is game 4. This still is match point for Monsoon.
Yeah, but so far, aside from that little hiccup, My Little Henlo have been on a roll so far. Let's see if they can pick up the pieces of what happened in game number 3, erase that, and just end things right then and there. Monsoon obviously hoping that doesn't happen, but we have seen such great special usage between both these teams. Wouldn't you say, Frost? Because usually these pushes, then these special usages always work in conjunction with each other. Never an isolated special, really just either 2 specials being used to start and initiate a push, or a special use plus an entire team push. They are really the catalyst to a team success.
No, exactly, yeah. Especially, like, we've seen what Kiki did with that one stamp. We've seen what Nico can do. Wait, why did I say stamp? We've seen what Kiki can do with the Zuko. We've seen what both Henlo and Nico can do with that stamp. Those specials can be really, really influential, and especially within a map like Tower Control, in which the checkpoint, in which the very important object is a very, very centralized thing. It's looking like no comp changes. Oh no, we see Kiki now on the Neo Splash.
We also see Mocha on, what's interesting, the regular blaster with the bubble. Very interesting choice, but I like it a lot with you having this mode being Tower Control, but also both sides having those GG strikes. You mentioned the GG strikes from My Little Henlo coming from that Neo Splash. On the other side, the bucket on Monsoon. Already, though, Mocha will find first blood, taking out Nico Minor on the other side, just trying to contest the zone if possible, but Monsoon do go 2 players down. The specials are almost all online as well for My Little Henlo, so this could look like a very early first checkpoint pop, managing to find 1 off of that Henlo, just trying to find any path, but no, it's actually just the Splatonas, and Henlo will be the victor of that, and they will take that first checkpoint.
The rest of My Little Henlo now rally to Henlo as they pop off with that Splatana play. The strikes are coming out from Monsoon, but that doesn't look like it's going to stop My Little Henlo from getting out of first checkpoint. They're going to make it towards the second. Harshy drops down the cooler. Now the others are within a really safe zone as they can respawn quickly here. But it looks like the bubble is now ready for My Little Henlo as well. Special economy is going really well for My Little Henlo. Monsoon needs to up the ante here. The strikes are coming out from Minor here, but so does the bubble from My Little Henlo here. This doesn't look like it's going to stop the push further, as it looks like My Little Henlo is zeroing in on that final checkpoint. The strikes are coming out here. Kiki's in a really rough situation here against Nico. Wipe out!
Yeah, a very clutch stop there, because they could not afford that or even risk that fight going any further. Nico just trying to make something happen on this left side will get taken out, but look at the amount of damage My Little Henlo's first push caused, down to 12. You're looking at now, you're having to look at trying to go for the knockout if you are Monsoon, but tough hill to climb. You gotta take it 1 checkpoint at a time, and it looks like they're doing such that as 2 players are down for My Little Henlo. They were chugging along, they are just chugging along trying to get this. Tri strikes will be popped as well to further their push.
both teams also have a Ultra Stamp ready on their Splatana Wipers. The stamps are coming out, and it looks like Nico is the winner of the stamp rob. A two-piece on both Shiny and Harshy. Looks like Miner's going down to that auto bomb though, but Nico is fighting for their lives on the ledge. Here comes Henlo back for revenge, taking down Nico. But the Zuka also comes out on the side of Monsoon, as it looks like Monsoon's push is coming to a untimely halt, with Henlo now having that stamp back as well to cause even more havoc.
Little under half the match played, 1 checkpoint. You still made good progress on that push, so no need to full-blown panic, but you should be thinking to pick up the pace a little bit if you are Monsoon to stay in this, because my little Henlo have been relentless. They have been inevitable, and they have the stamp here trying to potentially get a snipe. Won't quite find its target, but also the tri-strikes will get shut down for Monsoon. The cooler and stamp themselves will be available. Nico will find one, will get traded out off of that. The cooler still online. The cooler will be had by Monsoon, but still pretty contested if you are trying to get onto the tower, as it has all been my little Henlo now on this fight.
Archie has now dropped the cooler from my little Henlo, as they have 2 more specials online. They have Tri-Strike, they have Stamp, but the strikes also come out on the side of Monsoon here. The Zuka's coming out for Monsoon as well. The Wiper goes down here as well. The Blaster goes down here. The Wiper goes down again, and so does the Splash-O-Matic. Shiny is halfway towards a cooler here. This could potentially be another push starting from Monsoon as they make it back out of their side of the map into mid towards the first checkpoint again. The cooler is down, and the pressure is now on my little Henlo.
This is the opportunity to strike. This is the opportunity to make a statement. Maybe this could be the one and only chance they have. It's either this or possibly an overtime. They are chugging along towards that second checkpoint, slightly stalled from those tri-strikes. And Keely, that bubble is in a great position if you're defending for my little Henlo. And it will force the tower back a little bit, as Monsoon will try to just recollect themselves a little bit. But my little Henlo are making sure they're taking no survivors here, chasing every player down. 30 seconds left, but 2 players are actually down for my little Henlo. It is just an ink bath here in mid. Picks are going left, right, and center. 20 seconds left. It is crunch time now if you are on the side of Monsoon. The stamp is available for Henlo, just trying to throw this, trying to stall it left. 15 seconds left. The GG strikes are available for my little Henlo to end things here. 10 seconds left. The Zuka shot won't find its marks. The strikes are going out for Monsoon. 5 seconds left. The strikes are still online. This is the last opportunity. And it will not be the case. It will not be the case. The strikes not even needed. My little Henlo will take this series 3-1 and be our swim or sink 166 champions.
And that is game, set, tournament. My little Henlo, you are the victors of Spook or Scream. Take not even needing to enter the dreaded Barnacle and Dime. Why is the ceiling orange? That doesn't matter though. My little Henlo proving why they are the #1 seed for a reason. They stand on business, and even if a little hiccup stops them, that doesn't stop them. They take this 3-1. No need for a game 5.
Holy crap, I was losing my breath near the end of that. There was so much action happening. Both teams were fighting for it all. Monsoon were just throwing themselves at the tower. It was all on the line, and just not enough. Monsoon with a valiant effort. They fought hard in all these games, make no mistake, but my little Henlo just showing us, like you mentioned, why they are the #1 seed. GG's to them. Congratulations to Mocha, Kiki, Harshy, and Henlo for winning that. And thank you all for watching here. We are near the tail end of this, and it's almost time to say goodbye, but of course we have some housekeeping things to do. So Frost, where can the people find you?
Of course, you find me on Twitter at TK_Frostix. I post about Splatoon clips, and I also write a web novel, read Gap Year. Rocket, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Rocket_Splat at the bottom of your screen. You see right there. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch with that link. You can also find me on Discord at Rocket Y, no spaces. You can usually just see me in some major Splatoon Discords. So come stop by, say hi. But enough of that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for Justin for streaming such a wonderful special edition of Swimmer Sync. And Thank you all for watching. Once again, have a happy Splatoon, Halloween, whatever-oween. We will see you in the next one.
Peace out.